And then if you see like a tow truck coming, just let me know, and then we'll like, yeah. Okay. Good luck.
Yep.
All right, Dave.
Welcome to the stream, everybody. We're getting started shortly here, just waiting for 2 more people to come. But yeah, got an exciting lineup for you guys today. Couple of new faces, couple familiar faces. Should be a good one. As always, we're playing some $1, no limit Holdem here at the Two Horsemen Poker Studio. Everyone will start off with $100. But I believe last week we had $2,000 on the table by the end, so expect some fireworks in these games.
Okay. Where did you park?
As you can see, we have
Did you eat dinner? Are you hungry?
we have Ethan Hahn here in the blue jacket and Patrick
Yeah.
on the right here. Not sure what they're playing. Looks like Some sort of double board game.
And lines.
Looks like Patrick is holding 7 cards. That's yeah, no clue what this game is. But yeah, once the last 2 players show up, I'll do the introductions and stuff for everybody, and then we'll get started.
No, you're good. You're good. No, I heard you got caught talking to the manager.
Yeah.
Oh, she's out here. She sits next to you, right?
Which one?
Lorena?
Yeah. She's my manager.
Oh, she's your manager.
Yeah, but we haven't caught up in a second, so.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, straight from the office, straight from the.
Dude, I know, right in the fucking like corporate fit, bro.
You want some water?
Yeah, please. I have brought my fucking bottle. It's empty. Thank you. Oh, please, yeah. If you wouldn't mind.
Yep.
I know, and I was like trying to find Sean.
Looks like we're getting the seating arrangements going here.
I got out of there early, bro.
Dude, I know. How are you?
I'm good. Like,
Thank you for bearing with us. We'll be get started in just a few minutes here.
You got it, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do the introductions once everyone sits down. Unfortunately, if you were hoping to see Alex play tonight, I know he had some fans last week. He is actually just going to be dealing for tonight. He did lose a good chunk of money last night, so going to try to make some of that back here. We don't pay our dealers, but we do tip very well, so they'll usually make 3 figures per night dealing. Not bad for 4 hours work. Feel free to type in the chat if anyone has any questions. Nice stream, thank you. Hopefully this will be a fun one. Yeah, we should be getting started here in just a few minutes. I will also be watching the Lakers game in the background, so I might be, if I'm ever preoccupied, just ring me in the chat and I'll get back on the poker action. Looks like we have our first late arrival. There is Colin in the black jacket who just sat down. He was in the first stream and a staple in the 2 Horsemen poker games, so expect to see him a lot in the future. There is Cho coming out of the bathroom, also a regular here at the 2 Horsemen Poker Studio. I know he has some fans in the chat as well. Very unique playstyle, I would say. Lane, how's it going? Good to see you again. We will be live for 4 hours once again today. So hope you'll be tuned in. We're gonna get started here very shortly. Just waiting on one last player to show up. Pretty similar lineup to last week. I do think we have. Oh, we might actually have 3 new players. Yeah. Yeah, actually, this is almost a brand new lineup now that I think about it. Andrew was here last week. Miles will be playing the whole game this week. And yeah, I think everyone else here was not here last week. Alex was, but he'll be dealing today. And the secondary commentator is going to sub me out at about 10 p.m. It's actually going to be Patrick today, so you'll hear a new voice. Patrick, great personality, loves to talk, so I'm sure you guys will enjoy him as the commentator. Bring a little different perspective than, how me and Viles view poker. I think that's a great thing about poker. There's so many different ways to play the game. There's no, everyone talks about GTO, but no one just plays one set strategy. So lots of stuff you can do. There's lots of ways to win. So. Yeah, we were attempting actually to stream on Twitch today as well, but ran into some technical difficulties with that in terms of the delay not really syncing up, so just going to stick to YouTube for today, but we will try and get that going in the future for those of you that prefer watching on Twitch. There he is. There's our last arrival, so we should be getting going very shortly now. Here we go. That is Elliot. So yeah, once everyone sits down, I'll do the player introductions now. Alrighty, so on your left in seat 1 is Andrew. You guys have met him before. He's a regular here. Seat 2 is Elliot. Not so much a regular here, but he's played here quite a few times, and I would say very aggressive play style. Definitely looks for him to bump up the action. Colin in seat 3, Miles in seat 4, DP in seat 5, Han in seat 6, and I guess Patrick's going to go by Lucky P today. Pretty fitting nickname as he picks up pocket 10s the first hand, so maybe he will be Lucky P today, we'll see. Lucky P is under the gun, raises to $3 with 10s. Colin's in there with a 5-deuce suited. Like to see him mixing it up. A little on the tighter side, but he's definitely been opening up the range recently. Han calls with king deuce off. And queen high flop. Not a terrible flop for 10s. I would expect to see him c-bet here, as he does. $3, and that'll get through. Good start for Lucky P. Yeah, you guys see the chip counts. Everyone's starting with $100 as normal, but yeah, we had $2,000 on the table by the end of last week, so expect a similar result today. Cho Chingle picking up the ace-jack of clubs under the gun. Looks like he's made it $3. Here, I'll turn up the audio inside the room just a little bit so you guys can hear a little bit what's going on. Miles, king jack of diamonds, just coming with a call. Interesting. Would like to see a 3-bet there most of the time, but looks like he saves himself some money as Cho flops top pair. Checks through, and that is trouble now. Miles turning the absolute nuts with a redraw to the super nuts. Would like to see Cho bet there on the flop, but I don't think Miles is going anywhere anyways, so Cho drawn to a chop now. That's not it. I think we're going to see Cho maybe fire out a block bet here, or just a value bet. He probably thinks he has the best hand, the way this hand's played out, but yeah, it looks like he's going for value, $15, and the only question is how much Miles is going to raise. I think I like to see, you know, maybe 45, 50 here. Go a little bigger. I don't think that'll change Cho's decision much. Looks like he is going fairly big. Yeah, 50, I like that size. I think Cho's good enough to get away from this sometimes, but Miles is a very aggressive player, so always tough to fold against him. Yeah, you hear him say it there, it's F Jack King. But, you know, Cho with the Jack blocking King Jack, blocking the nuts, so it's kind of hard to fold here. He's also unblocking diamonds, which is the main bluff here. You see the table talk, Miles actually says he missed his diamonds, which is a completely true statement. Usually when people table talk, they say kind of half-truths, stuff that is true but is misleading. So if I were Cho here, I think I would lay it down, but I certainly can't fault him for calling. Good to see him taking his time with this. Oh, he calls it off. Yeah, understandable. Yeah, it's just a tough run out for Cho. Would have liked to see him c-bet the flop there, but yeah, exactly. He's unblocking the bluffs, which is mainly diamonds here, and he's blocking the nuts as well. So definitely can't fault him for calling there, especially against an aggressive player like Miles. Yeah, so I would agree, Shrag. He's kind of the one combo of ace-jack that you'd consider calling with there. Miles scoops in a nice pot up to $164 now in the stack. Elliot's going to limp in with Queen 5 of clubs. Daniel, Jack 4 of spades, he's in there. Lucky P bumps it up with 6-5 suited. Ace, ace 3. I'm assuming this is going to go bet fold. Pretty good board to continue for Patrick. Looks like he's checked though. That's going to give Elliot an opportunity to fire, and he's going to take all the opportunities here. Elliot, a very aggressive player. Expect to see him fire at a lot of boards with not a lot of hands. And gets through, yeah, nicely done. Colin, gonna limp in with King 4 offsuit, okay. Han limps in with 10 deuce suited. Lucky P, another good hand, 8-7 of diamonds, but he's running into an actual premium here. Cho Chingle, ace king off. Fully expecting a 3-bet here. Maybe $10. Makes it 12. Yeah, I don't mind the bigger sizing here. Lucky P gonna go nowhere, but we're heads up now. And I think we're gonna see a all in on this flop here. Surely on the turn. I mean, Lucky P picking up the diamond draw. Cho with top. I mean, yeah, this is just gonna get all in here. I don't see Lucky P folding here. Yep, Patrick there with the call. They're gonna run it twice. 68%, pretty good equity here for Cho. Let's see if he can fade the diamonds. Ace on the first board. Six of spades on the second board. Cho fades it. And a nice double up there. Really good board for him. You know, giving Patrick enough to continue. Certainly, Patrick not going to fold the pair and flush draw there on the turn. Nice pot for Cho, and he's right back in it. So yeah, Lucky P will be in the booth for the second half of this stream. Daniel limping in with King Deuce of Spades. Hans in there with 9-3. Lucky P, 4 hands, 4 premiums. Queen 10 of Spades gonna bump it up. Collins gonna complete with Jack 10 off. I expect to see all calls here. Pretty even equities, as you can see, going into the flop. 5-3-6. Han outflops everybody with bottom pair and a backdoor heart draw. It's gonna check through. King of Hearts on the turn. Daniel picking up top pair. Gonna bet out $6. Would fully expect Han to call here with his pair and flush draw. He's gonna raise. Okay, I like this move. Believe Han made it $15. Looks like there's a blue in there, so it's a little more. 16. Don't really see Daniel folding here. Pretty small raise. I would like to see Han go a little bigger. Daniel is on the tighter side though, but this would be an absurdly tight fold. Whoa, let's go. Don't know about that fold. Good move by Han. I think if he bet a little bigger, that would have been a really good move, but it gets through, so that's all that matters. Nice move there from Han. As you can see, not too much so far. Miles up $64 already, though, after that pot with Cho earlier. Han opening up with Queen 3 offsuit. Looks like he's here to play today. Lucky P's in there with 6-5. As you can see, we have some very loose players here at the Two Horsemen Poker Studio. Yeah, nits do not get invited back. Miles flats with 9-8 of spades. And good flop there for Miles. Flop checks through. Jack on the turn. See if anybody fires here. Super dry board. Checks through again. 3 on the end. I think we might see Miles value bet his 8 here. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. $4. Pretty sure we're gonna see Han call with 3. Patrick folding out of turn. Don't love to see that, but I think Han's gonna be able to get away here. He's picked up the cards. It's usually a sign he's gonna fold. Yeah, good lay down there. Disciplined lay down. Miles picking up another pot. If you guys are wondering why Adam and June are not here, they're actually in Taiwan playing in the Asian Poker Tour circuit. So they'll be over there for 2 weeks. Hopefully we'll get them back after that. Hand number 7 now. Not too much happening so far. But yeah, last stream I believe it was around hand 20 when we really started to see some stuff pick up. Han limping in with king 7 off. Lucky P 6-4 of hearts. And Show Chingle here. Big raise of $6 with ace 8 of hearts. Elliott flats with king jack. Han and Lucky P make the calls for 4 ways to the flop. Flop is 5-4-3. Very good flop for Lucky P. Middle pair, open-ended, backdoor, straight flush draw. And Han's gonna lead out for $6 here with 2 overs and a gutter. Interesting. Yeah, we're gonna get calls from Lucky P and Show here. Elliott making the call as well with 2 overs. Nine of clubs on the turn doesn't change anything. I'm assuming we're going to see Han slow down here. It's going to check through. And Elliott gets there with the king. Nice call on the flop here. Going to get rewarded. Yeah, and Han bets out for 16. I think we're just going to see a call here from Elliott. Really no reason for him to think he doesn't have the best hand. A raise is probably a little aggressive, but yeah, I think we're certainly going to see a call. Yep, Elliott makes the call. Han shows the king, and Elliott shows the better king. Scooping in a nice little pot there. Yeah, I think maybe would have liked to see Patrick raise that on the flop. I think he maybe had an opportunity to steal that pot there, but it's tough with 2 players behind, so nice play from Elliott there. Find the call on the flop, knowing he's getting odds with 2 overs, and then find another call on the river. Joe Chingle here, limping in with 8-6 suited. Colin opens us up with queen 10 off from the cutoff. Daniel's in there, set money with 4s. Han, you know he's always in there. Never seen that guy fold before, so. 9-6 ace. Han flopping best with his second pair. Would expect this to check through a lot given the hands. Okay, Colin goes for the C-bet. I actually like this. Not going to work, though. Gets 2 calls from pawn and show. But he turns the queen. Turns the best hand there. And checks through on the river. We'll see if Kong goes for some thin value here. Or just takes the showdown. Certainly wouldn't fault him for taking the showdown value here. And yeah, he does check it back. Gonna take this one down. Andrew chastising him for not betting the queen, but certainly understandable. Not really sure where you're gonna get called by there. A worse queen really shouldn't be in this hand, so you're kind of just asking for a call from a 9. Elliot up to second position now. Lucky P and Show bringing up the rear. And Elliot feeling good about himself with the 7 deuce. Not sure if he knows that the 7 deuce game is not on at the 2 Horsemen Poker Studio. We only play the 6-9 game here. But maybe he's just doing it for the love of the game. Queen Jack 9. Dream flop for Lucky P. Top pair. And open-ended. 85% to win this hand. Looks like Lucky P is going to go ahead and donk bet here. $7. Elliot making the call with 7 deuce. Wow. I think he might. Someone needs to tell him that the 7 deuce game isn't on. I don't think he realizes. Might get himself in some trouble here. Yeah, I think Patrick correctly decided to give him some rope. $12. Certainly no way. Patrick's folding here. Lucky P taking his time here. Not sure if he's thinking about raising. I certainly don't see him folding for $12, but I guess he's thinking about jamming. Yeah, with $20 behind, it'd be kind of a weird spot to just call here. If he could see the cards, obviously, he would just call. And yeah, does go for the call. Yeah, I think he has a good grasp on the situation here. And we'll see if Elliot gives up or fires one more bullet. Now the question is, does Patrick realize what's happening here? I think he does. Yeah, nice check there. And Elliot with the jam. Patrick's going to snap him off here. Wow, is he really thinking about folding this? This would be a sick fold. And not in a good way. I don't really see how he can fold for $20 to win 74. All the draws missed. I mean, is he just putting Elliot on 2 pair? Not really sure why he's thinking about this. I think Elliot should absolutely not be showing a card here if he's actually thinking about folding. Yeah, I just don't think you can fold for, like, when you call the turn there with $20 behind, you're kind of pricing yourself in. Wow, it looks like he's really thinking about folding here. Oh my god, he lays it down. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe he laid that down. Wow. What a move from Elliot. I cannot believe Patrick folded there. Wow. Really, really nice play from Elliott there. That's crazy. Did anyone else think Patrick was gonna fold? I didn't see that one coming. Wow, Elliott up to an early lead here, up to $189 now. Wow, Patrick's got to be sick. Lucky P down to 19 big blinds. Yeah, he's stunned. Can't believe it. I don't know if he's ever played with Elliott before, because I believe Elliott's only played here once before this game, maybe once or twice, and I'm not sure if Patrick was here for either of those. I think if he's played with Elliott before, he would not be folding there, but if he's assuming that, you know, Elliott's just a, you know, stock poker player, he's not going to be making too many moves, it's a little more understandable. Looks like we're 6 ways on the flop here. Nobody with too much. Miles does have top pair and the bottom end of the gutter. We do see quite a few calls here. Oh boy, 6 of clubs on the turn. Trouble for Miles as Daniel has a higher straight here. Yeah, I think probably gonna get 2 streets of value here. Oh, I didn't even see Cho also hit the straight. Excuse me. The equities are different just because Daniel is actually redrawing to a higher straight, to the 9. 2 calls here from Miles and Cho. And there is the 9. Oh, my, that's unbelievable. That's actually insane. That Daniel backs into another higher straight. That's crazy. 3 outs there. Definitely going to see Daniel bet here. $10 now. I think Cho should just call here for 2 reasons. One, yeah, I like the call here. One, he could get Miles to overcall with his lower straight. Although once the 9 comes, yeah, good fold from Miles there. And yeah, good just call there from Andrew. Daniel scooping a nice little pot. That's a pretty sick run out there. Also good fold from Miles, recognizing the 2 streets from Daniel and then the call from Andrew. His 3's never going to be good there. Ace 5 suited, Colin limping in from under the gun. Would like to see a raise here. As you guys know, in general, I'm not a huge fan of limps, but understandable if he's trying to set up maybe a back raise here. Or just playing a little more conservative from under the gun. Looks like the action tracker is a little bit behind. Han limps in. Lucky P sticks in the jam with the Jack 2's offsuit. Cho rejamming with 10-9 suited, so looks like we're gonna be flipping here. I don't really see. Oh god, Han calls with 7-5. Well, these are three hands that should not be all in pre-flop, but that's the deal at the THP studio. These are some crazy hands to be getting it all in with. Queen 7-10. Very good flop for Cho. He takes a stranglehold on this one. 3 on the river. On the turn is safe. And Cho gonna scoop that one in. Gonna scoop the whole pot. And he's actually all the way back up to even now with that triple up. Or semi-triple up. Lucky P, the first victim tonight. Gonna have to rebuy now. And yeah, I think Han's just in the mood to gamble today. I'm not sure what he's doing there. If anyone's wondering, the Lakers are down 2 after the third quarter. Wolves, very good third quarter for Minnesota. See if the Lakers can come back here. Yeah, so everyone is even or up now except for Han, who's down 73, and Patrick, who just reloaded for 100. Han, 10-3 of spades to start us off. Lucky P, I think he's out of there with the King 6. Cho's in there with a slightly better King 7. Elliott checks. Colin's going to open it up here from the big blind. Jack 10 off. Nice to see Colin mixing it up a little. He's been a little more aggressive the last 2 sessions we've seen him than in games past. Picks up 3 callers this time. 8-8-7. Cho with second pair. Colin 2 overs and a gutter. Not much here for the other 2 other than some backdoors. I think we're going to see Cho bet here. Yep. After checks around, he's going to bet 7. Colin makes a call with 2 overs and a gutter. Ace of diamonds on the turn. Check, check. Another ace on the river. Now, Cho got his pair counterfeit, but he actually has the best hand with king high. So, still works out there for Cho. Nice little pot there. I thought I heard straddle, but I believe Han is not under the gun, so he'll have to wait a hand. Daniel's in there with ace 3. It looks like Han's just playing any 2 cards today, so 6-4 he's in there. Joe with 9-8. Goes check on the blinds. 4 Jack 8, all spades. No jack for anyone, but the ace of spades working for Daniel. Would like to see him bet here. There it is. Probably just gets through. Maybe Miles calls with second pair and a spade, but I think the smart thing to do is just let it go here. Yeah. Good takedown there. And getting some notifications now. Looks like Shador Sanders did not get drafted again today. So, yeah, unfortunate for him. We'll see. Be real interested to see where he ends up. That whole thing is just crazy to me. How do you go from top 5 pick to out of the first 3 rounds within 2 weeks? Han's gonna straddle. Lucky P picking up a monster. Pocket Kings. Just a call. Definitely looking to trap here. I'm not a huge fan of this. I think trapping with premiums is just so dangerous. And it's going to check through. And there's the ace. This is what happens when you trap. And this is why I'm not a huge fan of it. Just feels like it just always comes the ace. And yeah, Lucky P is not gonna like seeing this. Only $4 though, so he'll see a turn. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! He hits the king. Oh my god! There's no way he just hit the king. That's so gross. And Han's all in here. Lucky P making the raise and Han taking a peek at the cards is going to see that he is drawing dead. Yeah, the raise from Lucky P here should allow Colin to get away. Yeah, good fold there for Colin. Good discipline. And yeah. Just draw. Pocket Kings is just, that's a gross turn card there. Yep. And our second victim of the night, Han, now rebuying as well. That's just, I mean, I was giving Patrick some shit for slow playing the Kings, but I guess it works out. So, nice pot there from Lucky P. And that's our second rebuy of the night now. Well, a little bit of action going. You know, as the stack sizes get bigger, naturally, you start to see more action. I think there's definitely some opportunity here with this specific lineup to, you know, make some moves. Not a ton of people at this table like to 3-bet. I don't even know. I think we've seen like 1 3-bet today so far. It was with Ace King. So let's see if some guys can, you know, kind of spot that maybe a little more passive, loose passive table today. You can get away with 3-betting a little wider, pick up some dead money. And Lucky P really getting some good hands so far. 10-9 of spades, another premium holding. Elliot's in there with King 8. Yeah, I like the route Colin's been taking today so far. You know, raising maybe some hands you wouldn't normally, but with a table that's this passive, you kind of you kind of got to bump up the aggression a little bit. Maybe even start to size up with how many people are calling with, you know, kind of just random holdings. And looks like we're 6 ways here. Hopefully we'll see the flop here in a second. Ace King 9, 2 diamonds. I think Daniel likes that flop. Not too sure if anyone else does. Elliot does pick up middle pair, but gonna bet out $6. I think we'll see a call from Daniel, and everyone else probably gets out of the way. Yep, so Elliot and Daniel heads up now. Ten of diamonds on the turn. Daniel gets there. Don't think we're gonna see any more money from Elliot here. Pretty bad turn card for him. Checks back. And 6 of clubs on the river. I think we'll see a value bet here from Daniel. And probably a fold from Elliot. I mean, King 8 is not really that strong of a holding here. Yeah, let's see what kind of sizing Daniel goes with. 15, pretty reasonable. Just really not too sure what Elliot's beating here, though. Oh, he might be... Oh, he goes for the raise, turning his hand to a bluff. Not going to work this time, though. Daniel with the straight. Yeah, Elliot, just picking kind of a wrong time to bluff there. Would just like to see a fold there, but, you know, he likes to make moves. Certainly an understandable line. At least I think it was good that he recognized that he didn't have the best hand, and decided to turn his hand to a bluff. I think that's better than just calling there, so don't mind that at all. Daniel now taking the chip lead, $170. Oh, Miles picking up a premium here, Ace King, offsuit. Not sure what's happening here. Looks like we had a card exposed. A face card. Miles making it $4. Han is in there with pocket 3s. And it'll just be those two. Ace 7 Jack, all clubs. Do not think we will be seeing much action here. Don't think Han can continue with, yeah. C-bet and a fold. Good takedown. I think we have still yet to see our first $100 pot. I'm not sure if, maybe that first hand with Miles and Andrew was, but not too much happening so far as we approach the 1 hour mark. As I mentioned earlier, I will be commentating the first 2 hours of the session, and Lucky P in seat number 7 will be commentating the second half today, and I'll sub in so you guys will get to see me play for about 2 hours. Daniel, ace queen off. Looks like $3, not too sure. King jack suited from Han. Just a call. Don't mind that on the button. And Cho calls with 8-5. Nice flop for both Han and Cho. Cho with the diamonds, Han with top pair. And looks like a face card there on the turn. Action tracker is a little behind as it checks through on the flop. Oh boy. King of diamonds on the turn. Might have some action here. Daniel with a straight, Han with 2 pair. And Cho with an 8 high flush. I think we're... Yeah, it looks like Han gonna raise it up here. I don't think Cho's ever folding. No way he folded. No way he folded the flush. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's unbelievable. I cannot believe he just did that. I mean, that's just an absurd fold. Like, how are you folding a flush there? What? Oh, he's gonna be absolutely sick when he sees these hands turned over. Okay, so $8, Han raised 25. I just don't see how you can fold a flush there. And the straight's gonna be good. And Andrew just, oh, he's sick now. I cannot believe he just folded a flush there. I mean, why are you calling with the flush draw if you're not gonna call with the flush on the turn? Oh, that's unreal. Wow, yeah, Cho is steaming right now. Thinks he made a huge laydown, but ends up being completely wrong. Wow. Are you overthinking? Yes, Andrew. I don't think you could ever fold a flush there. Daniel, looks like we have a straddle by Colin. Daniel calls with King 10 of clubs. Call from Cho, fold from Elliot, and Colin picking up a premium in the straddle. $10 with the King Queen of hearts. Daniel going nowhere. I'm assuming we'll see everybody else get out of the way here. Heads up now. Daniel is in position but dominated. Never mind. Just flops the 10. Colin, not a bad flop for him. Backdoor straight flush draw working. Strong c-bet here. Not going to work, unfortunately, since Daniel picking up top pair. Oh my god. And Colin, it's the queen. Man, cold deck today for Daniel. Jeez, he got away with it last time after Andrew folded the flush, but he's just getting killed right now. That's unfortunate. Colin's going to continue, almost certainly. And, you know, very understandable if Daniel decides to call here. $30 from Colin. You know, it's not a super believable story from Colin unless he's repping an overpair. So I definitely wouldn't blame Daniel for Colin. But at the same time, I guess it's like, what are you beating at this point? Like, Ace-King probably isn't betting again. Maybe King-Jack of spades, but even that has so much equity against you. It, like, feels really shitty to fold this here, but... Like, I don't really know what you're hoping for if you call. Because even if a king comes on the river, you can't be certain you have the best hand. Yeah, just a tough spot here from Daniel. I would assume he's going to lay this down. Daniel's on the tighter side. And probably overfolds more than anything, so I would expect to see a fold here. Daniel, very disciplined, doesn't get too sticky. Taking his time with this one, though, understandably. Yeah, it's a pretty weird line. I mean, Colin gets fortunate to hit the queen there, but not too many hands that improved on the turn, other than, you know, king, queen, ace, queen of spades, or maybe some backdoors. Queen 10 is also possible, but I think in the straddle, that's a hand that you wouldn't see Colin raise. Daniel, yeah, I think Daniel's taking too long now. Yeah, good fold. Nice disciplined fold there from Daniel. At that point, he's taken way too long. Andrew, with the commentary there, incorrectly deducing that Colin's bluffing, which he wasn't. Nice pot there from Colin. Kind of created out of thin air in a limp pot, bumping it up with a premium, c-betting flop, and then getting there on the turn. So nicely done from Colin. And a good fold from Daniel as well. Lakers down 1 in the 4th. I'm gonna be turning that stream on right now. Yeah, honestly, I'm not feeling great about this Lakers series. I think they're just a little too small and kind of not athletic enough to compete with Minnesota, but like you just have to outshot make them and outplay make basically, but they just have such a size and athleticism advantage. King 6 of hearts here from Daniel. Daniel getting some solid hands today. Looks like a $3 raise from Elliot. Oh, I'm sorry, Daniel with the initial raise. 3 callers. Not too much happening here. Elliot with the second pair. Best hand here. Probably gonna check through. Looks like Lucky P's gonna take a stab. Elliot going nowhere. Daniel lets it go. Han lets it go. Ace of Diamonds on the turn. See if Lucky P continues telling the story here. Does pick up some equity with the gutter to go along with his 10. But you can see 4 of his outs are actually dead, so only 8% here. Looked like a bet of $6 and a call. And a 5 here for Elliot on the river. So there's no chance that Elliot's folding now. I think Lucky P has to bluff with 10-3. No chance Elliot's folding. What? Okay, I'm gonna assume that I'm gonna assume that's a card read error. There's no way Elliot just folded trip 5s. Like, that has to be an error. I mean, there's just no chance that's not a card read error. If it is, I don't know what to say. Daniel, ace 8 of spades limps in. Lucky P, another premium ace jack. Cho picking up king queen of clubs, 3-betting to 15. I like this. You really want to isolate with your better hands. Daniel's in there though with ace 8 of spades. Han's in there. Jeez, we're getting crazy now. Yeah, I mean, Lucky P, this is just a fold. Nice laydown there. Or I guess technically he had the best hand, but it is just a fold just because you're not even in position. And Han just flops the nuts. That's crazy. Yeah, this is gonna get all in here. Cho with top 2. Han with the stone cold nuts. Yeah, this is does Han only have $21 behind? Yeah, I mean this is just getting all in. Like there's no, I don't know why we're wasting time here. This is just, yeah, I mean Cho's just gonna jam here. Oh, he calls. Okay, interesting. And we're gonna get all in on the turn here. Cho is almost gonna, like, he certainly thinks he has the best hand here. Han not really supposed to be in there with Jack 10 offsuit in a 3-bet pot, but he is. Han, nice double up there. Just a cooler for Cho. I mean, I don't think he did anything wrong there. He played it. Thomas Yu could get ugly. Yeah, it got ugly. I mean, I don't see how you're supposed to fold there if you're Cho. No draws. Top two. You're never dead. Like, no one ever has kings or queens there, so it's just... I think I would have liked to see him jam the flop just to have some more outs if they did decide to run it twice, but yeah, just kind of a cooler. Nice pickup for Han there. Much needed double up. Yeah, Thomas, we've had some couple coolers already today. And Cho was actually on the right end of one, but he ended up folding the best hand earlier. Not sure if you were in here for that, but Cho's got to be steaming right now. He's incorrectly folded the best hand and then called with the worst hand there. Just kind of an unfortunate sequence of events for him. Don't think he's really necessarily done anything wrong. Lucky P in there with the queen deuce suited. Ooh, Colin folding ace-9 on the button. Miles in there with fives. Think we're going to see Han 3-bet here. Yep. With eights. Two calls from Lucky P and Miles flops the set. I don't think he's going to get much action here. No one else has much. Pretty bad flop for eights, too. Lucky P picking up a queen. So Miles might be able to get some value there, but Han almost certainly going to fold. Oh, is he turning his hand into a bluff? You know, I like the idea because this board favors him as the pre-flop raiser. Yeah, good fold though. It wasn't gonna work this time because Miles had a set, but I do like the idea of turning your hand into a bluff there. See if Lucky P can get away here with queen no kicker. You know, it's tough to make folds like this when you're down money, but I think that's the key to staying profitable in poker is being able to, you know, lay a hand like this down. Yeah, he's going to call, though. 6 of hearts on the river. Yeah, when Patrick starts talking, it feels like he's looking for a check, so I think Miles should bet and bet big. Looks like he's going 40, 48. I think this is where Patrick can get away. Patrick's talking like he wants to call. You know, Miles is a very aggressive player, but I don't think a hand like Queen Deuce is good enough to pick him off here. I think you really want to be blocking the nuts. Unblocking the diamonds is good, since those are the main bluffs Miles would have here. Some sort of Jack X, maybe Ace X of diamonds. But yeah, it looks like Lucky P really thinking about calling here. I think he can find the fold here. I think he can find the fold. I think if it was double suited, like 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, and then you're unblocking both of those, I think I could consider calling. I just don't think second pair no kicker is. I mean, he's obviously just bluff catching here, so I guess it doesn't really matter what he has, but yeah, Patrick, I agree with that. He said he's saying he should have folded to the 15, which I agree with. There you go. Good fold, good fold. Gets away from it. Andrew thinks, yeah, this is the best hand. I believe Miles showed a 5 there, so leaving a little suspense. Nice pot for Miles. I like the bet on the river. I don't really think Patrick's calling if he bets less. Like, it wouldn't look any weaker if he bet less. So nice takedown there. Oh boy, it looks like the Lakers lost. So that's not good. Yeah, game 4 is going to be an absolute must-win. Can't go back to LA down 3-1. Miles takes the lead, $198. Stack's getting a little deeper. No one has crossed the $200 threshold yet, but we'll expect to see that very shortly. Elliot's going to open it up with Jack 10 offsuit. Colin calls with Ace 7 off in the cutoff. Han completes in the big blind. 3 deuce of hearts. And it looks like Lucky P making it interesting here with the 4-3 of clubs in the straddle. 3 bets to $18. Pretty sure this is going to get through here. Yeah, nicely done there. Maybe steaming a little bit from that last hand, but I like the play. You know, out of position. A lot of people would be tempted to call there, but takes down the dead money in a hand where he didn't have a ton of equity. So nice play from Patrick there. Ace 10 offsuit for Andrew under the gun. $3 raise. Daniel picking up 9s on the button. Daniel, not a guy who 3-bets a lot. Would maybe like to see him do it here, but on the button, call is understandable as well. Han, as always, in there. Lucky P in there with the rags as well. Ace 6-5. Cho flops best. Think we're gonna see a C-bet here. Probably a call from Daniel. Yeah, decent flop for him as well. Lucky P, I think we'll call as well with middle pair. Gets out of the way though, nice fold there. Queen on the turn, probably gonna be the end of this hand. I think we'll see Cho bet once again, and don't think Daniel can call another street here with just 9s. Oh, looks like did he just jam? Jam from Cho. I don't think Daniel's gonna call here. Oh, he's tables his hand, is thinking about it. I actually like this jam from Cho. I think if he bets a normal amount, Daniel's just folding, but this looks really suspicious. The 2x overbet. Andrew, not a guy who's, overbetting a lot. Wow, Daniel makes the call. Oh my goodness. Wow, good play from Cho here. Really nice play from Cho. I cannot believe that worked, but I think the overbet looked really suspicious. And Daniel makes the call there. Nicely done. Cho just keeps coming back. He's actually up money now after all that. Yeah, nice overbet there from Cho, making it look like he was trying to buy it with, some type of flush draw, something like that. Got Daniel to call him off a third pair. Looks like we got a few more viewers in here now. Drop in the chat where you guys are tuning in from today. We're obviously in California, but be interested to see if there's any other states or even countries in the audience. Looks like we're heads up here with Han and Lucky P, our two action players today. Han flops top pair, Lucky P bottom pair, and the bottom end of a gutter. Han continues, Lucky P with the call. Oh my god. What part of California? Yeah, Lucky P gets lucky there. I think we're gonna see check here. I don't really think Han can value bet this. I mean, at least he shouldn't be value betting this. But yeah, nice check back. Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Miles' hometown, nice. Yeah, I actually want to play poker in Texas one of these days. Yeah, I've seen all the streams, Texas Card House, the Lodge, but I've only ever played in casinos in California and in Las Vegas. So, be nice to get out to Dallas one day, check out the poker scene there. Miles, the only one up a ton right now. And might be up some more after this hand. Pocket jacks from the +1. 3 bets to 13. Han calls in the cutoff. Elliott calls, and now Colin might just be priced in. Yeah, Miles is not going to love to see 4 callers here, but he is 46%. As Elliott and Han are blocking each other. But everyone with a suit that's uncovered. Oh my god, that's 6-6 queen. Elliott flopping trips Han with a flush draw. And Miles probably not loving that flop. See if he decides to c-bet here. Usually on paired boards, I do like to c-bet a lot. Just because it's less likely that someone hits a pair, but yeah, I think we're gonna see a call here from Han, and I'd like to see a raise here from Elliott. I think his hand is certainly vulnerable, even though it's really good. Hope Elliott. I really think that was a card read error earlier. I mean, Elliott folded the 5 so quickly. I just don't see how there's any way that he had trips there. I mean, he either didn't see his hand, or it's a card read error. Like, I'm gonna ask them when I get in the game, because I don't think there's any way he folded that. But I mean, we've seen Andrew fold a flush already today, so I don't know. Maybe people are just making some crazy laydowns. this is usually more of a game where people make crazy calls and not folds, but I don't know, maybe today is going differently. I like Elliott taking his time here to think. Personally, I would be raising here, especially with another player behind. Although it looks like Colin's already pre-mucked his hand. If it's, the board isn't that wet, just kind of the lone flush draw out there. If it was a rainbow board, I think certainly you can get away with just calling, but 3 ways. Not sure if you guys can hear that. I think some stuff is happening in the background. So, yeah, we are on a 5-minute delay, so something exciting should be happening on stream 5 minutes from now. Not sure if it's this hand still or there's another hand after this, but definitely possible that it's this hand. Maybe an all-in and a crazy run out, something like that. Yeah, Elliott raises to 50. I like this. I think that's the correct decision here, correct play here. Good fold from Miles, recognizing that the jacks are no good. And Han just cold calling. I think I probably would have liked to see him jam there. Or just, obviously just fold, but he leaves himself with $52 behind, and now after Elliott jams again, I don't really know if you can fold for 50 more after calling 50 on the flop. Like, that just seems kind of silly, but yeah, Elliott does decide to jam. Yep, Han makes the fold. Yeah, really nice takedown from Elliott. That's why you got to charge those draws there on the flop. Good raise, gets a call from a flush draw, and then a fold on the turn. No sweat. 3-figure pot there, going to Elliott. He does show the 6. Yeah, nice pot there from Elliott. Pretty sure he takes the chip lead there with $231 now. First player at the table to cross the $200 threshold today. Yeah, nice pickup there. Yeah, I think if I were Han there, I think you either have to fold the flop or just go all in. Like just calling there kind of puts you in a tough spot on the turn where you're not going to get a good price to call, but at the same time it feels like you can't really fold. Yeah, look at the pre-flop raise aggression. Lucky P the most aggressive so far. Daniel bringing up the rear. I try to keep mine around 20, I'd say. 20, 25, something like that. Obviously depends on, the cards you're getting, but I think a lot of people will have a ton of separation between PFR and VPIP. I try to keep mine basically identical, which means no limping. I know it's really tempting sometimes, but I'm just not a huge fan of it in general. Might see a little clash here. Han limping in with pocket kings. Lucky P with a premium ace-jack suited. We're definitely going to see a back raise from Han here. Well, looks like some more stuff happening in the background. There's the back raise from Han. Looked like a big one. Okay, looks like sounds like something really crazy just happened in the background. $21. Call from Lucky P. And 10-3-4. Maybe Lucky P will get away here. Han's gonna jam. I mean, he does have 2 overs. It's not like an awful price to call. Did Han leave a chip behind? I can't tell. I think Han still has a chip behind there, so he bet 25, leaving himself $6. Oh my god, Lucky P calls with the ace high. That seems pretty insane. Okay. You know, he does have 18% equity, not drawn dead here. Let's see if Han can fade the ace here. All right, Patrick says we're going once. Well, king on the turn. Now Lucky P needs a queen. Oh. And he hits the ace, but it's not going to be good as Han with the queen here. Nice takedown, nice double up for Han. Back up to 116 now. Elliott still in the lead, $228. Looks like Miles, the only other one with any significant profit. Yep, the Lakers did lose game 3. Pocket 10s here for Daniel. Ace Queen for Lucky P. Might see some action here. I think Daniel was probably setting up a back raise with 10s. Miles calls, yeah. Daniel definitely should be back raising here. Ooh, only 13 though. I would have liked to see a little bigger raise here. But it should get through. And they'll get it through everybody, just the ISO works. We'll see Daniel and Lucky P here with the all-in. I don't know if that's correct. It says Patrick has $80. That doesn't quite look like $80, but we'll see. Oh, maybe it is actually. Those stacks of blues are pretty big. Daniel 10s. I'm assuming he makes the call here. It looks like Patrick just showed his hand. Interesting decision. I mean, there's actually just no way you can fold after he shows you ace queen. Like Patrick literally showed a worse hand. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why Patrick's showing ace queen here. Like, yeah, Daniel makes the call. Looks like they're running at once. Whoever joined, you're in for a good one. I heard a huge reaction. Huge reaction from the crowd, you know, about 5 minutes ago when it was happening in real time, so. Oh, there's the ace for Lucky P. A 10 is folded, so there's only one out. Oh my god, he hits it. Oh my god. Oh my god, he hits the one outer. Oh no. Oh my god, he hits the one outer. That is just a rough day for Patrick. Reds in the back, of course. Of course. I mean, where else would they go, Adam? Adam, how's Taiwan right now? Any big cashes so far at APT? Well, I just still can't believe that happened. I don't First of all, I don't know why Patrick's showing his hand there. Because once he shows, the other guy has to call. You can't fold tens once you get showed ace queen. About to go reg, dealer's choice. Good luck, good luck. I know that's a very strong game of yours. Confident that you'll do well. Got fifth last night for 1K and triple draw mix. Nice. Congrats. How's June doing? Has he cashed it all? He bubbled. Triple draw mix. Yeah. Tough. Sorry, he'll bounce back though. I know you guys are both very strong tournament players. Got a lot of confidence in you guys doing well over there. Is there a way to like keep up with the results? Like, does APT post like a blog updates or stuff like that? Lucky P raising to $5 with 6-5 suited. Probably like super steaming now. Yeah, on the website they post. Okay, sounds good. I'll be keeping up with you guys. Man, it just gets worse and worse for Patrick today. Han flopping 3 4s here, and Patrick with some equity with his flush draw. Han making the raise here. Certainly don't see Patrick folding. Heads up. I think Patrick's probably putting him on a queen right now. Ten of spades would be gross. Oh, it's the jack of spades though. Patrick gets there finally. He needs something. Needed something. Small bet from Patrick here. Han's just going to make the call, reevaluate on the river. Deuce of clubs. Would expect to see Han check here or maybe throw out a blocker bet. And Patrick should absolutely be value betting here. I don't know if he can get called off with it. Oh, he does decide to jam. Okay. Let's see if Han's able to get away here. I think you kind of have to fold. Certainly understandable with how aggressive Patrick is if he calls here, but I think you're just not really beating anything. Like, I'm not sure what Patrick is calling a raise on the flop with, then betting turn, and then jamming river. Yeah, I mean, I guess he could have, ace of spades X, but like, what ace of spades X hand is calling the flop, right? Like, he either has a queen or a flush here, like a lot of the time. And there's just no reason why he would jam a queen. So I think the one thing he could consider is Patrick could have theoretically a worse 4, like 5-4, 6-4 suited, something like that. But Han's blocking it because Han has a 4. So yeah, I think it's just a fold here. See if Han can find it though. Ethan never folding trips. I think he's gonna do it here. I think he's gonna do it. I think Han's leveled up his game. I think if you really think through this hand, it's a fold, and I think Han can get there. Like, there's just not enough bluffs on this type of board that Patrick would show up with here. Like, he's not just jamming like naked king 10 or like king 10-1 spade. Han's lining it up. Not sure if he's gonna fold, but it looked like he was pretty close to folding earlier. Looks like someone called clock, so Han will get 30 seconds to decide here. Yeah, he's got the chips in his hand now. I think he was. It looked like he was leaning fold earlier, but now it looks like he might make the call. I think he's. Looks like he's rolling the chips. There it is. Flush for Patrick. I thought he was pretty close to folding, but can't get away in the end. Nice pot there for Lucky P. Finally getting lucky after some very unfortunate hands recently. Pretty sure he reloaded twice, so I think he's got the second rebuy back now. He's only down 100. And Han now pretty deep in the hole. 2 buy-ins deep. Cho gonna raise it up. Queen Jack offsuit. Collins in there with 4s. Daniel hesitating, but makes the call with Jack 9. Han with 9-8 of hearts. I believe that's an all-in. Yeah, certainly understandable. Only a $6 all-in, though. I think the graphics are a little off. A lot of the times the stack sizes will be a little more shallow than they actually are, just because we do tip our dealers every hand, or we try to at least. So everyone's stack will be a little smaller than what is shown on the screen. So I think Han only had $6 there when he jammed. Pretty good flop for him, 2 hearts. I think he's liking that one. Colin gonna bet $6 now. Maybe trying to clear Cho out. Yeah, it does so, and yeah, Han's actually gonna be ahead now in this flip. Needs a heart. Oh, 8 on the turn. 9 on the river, nice. Nice triple up there for Han. Yep. Not gonna have $49 in the hand, but still some money to play with. Good pick up there. Hand number 30 now. Cho with the 10-8. Assume he's gonna bin that one. Elliot bumps it up to $3. Ace queen off. Premium holding. Miles is in there with ace 9. Daniel calls with ace 6 suited on the button. And Han and Lucky P both in there. 3 of the aces and half the kings accounted for here, so. We still see a king though. Han takes the lead here. See if he just decides to lead out here. Checks it. Patrick checks as well. Now let's see if Elliot wants to c-bet. Not an awful flop for ace queen. You know, Broadway draw and an over, but he checks it. So I would expect this one to check through. Daniel checks the backdoor heart draw. Sounds like the turn was a diamond. And I think this is where Han probably just sticks it in. Doesn't look like, he looks like he has less than pot behind. Yeah, Elliot leads out for $5. Han pretending to think about it. Don't think he's ever folding here though, with the top pair and a diamond draw that unfortunately is not live. Just calls here, okay. And Lucky P with the call as well. See what the river card is. Han 56% to take this one down. And looks like he donk jams. We still can't see the river. Elliot called. I'm gonna assume that last card was a diamond. Yep. Unfortunate run out for Han there. Yeah, he's never really getting away. And I don't think Elliot was folding the turn either, so just an unfortunate run out after that flop. Jack 8 of hearts for Elliot under the gun. Would expect him to be raising this here. Looks like we might have had a misdeal there, so apologize for the delay. Should be back here in a momentarily. Elliot opening up with Jack 8, Collins in with 10-9. Miles Ace 8 of spades is in there. Lucky P going nowhere with Queen 10 off, so 4 ways to the flop. 3-3-10. Lucky P and Colin both flopping top pair. Very similar flop to what we saw earlier with Han and Patrick, 2 spades and a low pair on the board. I think we'll see if Miles decides to raise here. Probably not, just because it's a paired board. A little scary to raise a flush draw. And I think we'll see a call from Patrick as well. Elliot's gonna get out of the way here. Lots of interesting turn cards. Miles actually the most equity here with an over to the 10 and 2 spades. But he bricks the turn.
I'll go when you go.
Patrick checks, Colin firing for 15. Now, yeah, I think Miles is gonna call because he's assuming that Patrick is gonna call behind, so he's getting a price too. Kind of a weird spot for Patrick now, even though he has the best hand. He's not probably doesn't feel great about Queen 10. Does have that spade blocker though. Not sure if that helps much, and it doesn't as Miles gets down the river. I'm assuming this is gonna check to him. I don't see Colin really betting again here after the spade draw gets there. You know, it's kind of unfortunate position-wise. Oh, wow. Colin sticks it in. That's interesting decision with... I'm not sure if he's turning his hand into a bluff here. I think he has to be. I think maybe he recognizes that 10-9 is never going to be good here after the call, 2 calls in front of him. Kind of unfortunate that, you know, he's running into Miles with a nut flush here, and now Patrick's going to be able to get away. I think it would have been really interesting to see what would have happened if, you know, Colin checked and then Miles bet for maybe a similar size to this. Because now it's a fairly easy decision for Patrick, but... Yeah, Colin getting his hand caught in the cookie jar there. Kind of unfortunate that Miles rivered it, but I like the idea. I don't know if that's the best spot to do that, because someone is usually gonna have a flush draw there when you're getting 2 callers on 2 streets. So yeah, I understand why Colin did that. He recognized the 10-9's probably no good there. Someone like most likely has a higher 10. But yeah, just unfortunate timing there. Miles with a nut flush, obviously never folding, and allows Patrick to get away cheaply there. Like let's say Colin and Patrick both check there, and then Miles goes for value. I don't know if Patrick has to call at that point, because Patrick was able to get away there very easily just because it was an all-in and a call in front of him. But if it's just Miles betting the river, I don't know if he folds or not with Colin still behind. And then if he folds, does Colin still fold? I don't know. Would have been really interesting to see that spot. But nice pot for Miles. Takes a big chunk of or takes all of Colin's stack there as he reloads. Moving on, hand number 32. Lucky P, Queen 7 off on the button. He's in there. Three ways to the flop. Joe with 6-5, Elliot with ace-4. Action tracker's a little behind here. Eight, 6, 8. Two hearts. Cho picking up bottom pair. Doesn't look like anyone bet the flop. Looks like we have a $1 bet on the turn. Still a little behind on action tracker here. Seven of hearts here on the turn. Believe it went bet call call. Can't see what the river card is, but it looks like Elliot bet $1. Well, from the audio we can hear that Patrick folded the best hand with a 7. Yeah, I don't think Miles realizes that the action tracker was not up to date there. Well, looks like we're not gonna see what the river card was, but we know that Patrick folded the best hand, so probably something inconsequential. Moving on here, we got two people over the $250 mark now. And Han looks like he's taking a break, but should be coming back momentarily. Ace-8 of diamonds for Miles under the gun. 7-6 of clubs for Daniel. He's going nowhere. Looks like Patrick's bumped it up here. Just waiting on the action tracker. Miles has a lot of responsibilities here as he's both shuffling and running the iPad. Ooh, lucky P here, pocket queens. Small 3 bets at $9. I'm assuming we're just gonna see a call here from Miles and... Oh, Daniel gets out of the way. Interesting. Would have liked to see a call there from him for such a good price. But good fold, as he flops nothing. Check, check on the flop. 6 of spades on the turn. Patrick not gonna love to see that one, but he's gonna take this down after Miles whiffs. Looks like Han's coming back into the game. Yep, Han's back in for, looks like another 100. So if you guys are wondering why we play seven-handed, it's because obviously the table sits 9, but the cameras that we have set up, like you wouldn't be able to see the people sitting in seat 1 and 9. So we just set the cameras basically in those seats. That's why we only play seven-handed. Also, just more fun. I feel like nine-handed gets a little too chaotic. You kind of have to play pretty tight and just wait for hands. So I like the seven-handed. Keeps it fresh. You don't have to just be sitting there waiting for premiums. Daniel limps in with King 4 of clubs under the gun. Lucky P's in there with Jack 6 of spades. If you guys didn't know, Jack 6 is actually my favorite hand, or used to be when I used to play on poker now. Elliot's in there, so we're 3 ways to the flop. Looks like Daniel bet out for $10. So I'm going to assume it's a king on the flop. Although we can't see it right now. And C-bet gets through. Yeah, probably just a king, not much else there on that flop. So, yeah, we got Daniel, Elliot, Miles, the 3 big winners so far. Cho about even, and everyone else down a little bit. This has still been pretty. I mean, I know we've had 2 crazy hands, but like we just haven't had huge pots yet where like big stacks are clashing. But night's still young, plenty of time for more action. $9.58 now, so I will be tagging out soon as Patrick comes and gets me. Not sure what's happening right now. I think we were just doing a quick chip update, make sure everything's good. So Han's back in for 100. Lucky P in there with ace-5 off. Six-5 of spades from Cho. Obviously not going to go anywhere. He loves his suited connectors. Elliot's in there, Jack 5. Colin mixing it up today. Queen 3 offsuit. Yeah, he's raised a number of questionable holdings. Good to see him. I like to see him mix it up here. He ran a huge bluff earlier, river bluff, which you almost never see from him. Ace 10 queen. Colin does flop middle pair, but not sure if he's gonna c-bet such a high card heavy board here. And just checks. I think just a smart play there. Has some showdown value. Kind of no reason to continue betting. 8 on the turn, changes nothing. Does bring the front door straight draw in. 9 jack got there. Looks like Cho just open mucks. And Elliot now with the double gutter gonna stick in a small bet, $3. Probably just trying to get to the river as cheaply as possible. 6 on the river. Now we'll see if Lucky P decides to lead out here to try and get some value. He goes for the $1 bet. That's the Ben special. Unfortunately, Ben could not make it today. I believe it's his uncle's birthday, so shout out to Ben's uncle. And Elliot goes for the bait. He raises. And wow, Colin with the 3-bet to $20 now. Oh, dude, if he made it bigger, that would have been really interesting. Cause, yeah, Lucky P makes the call there with an ace. No obvious draws getting there. I do like the idea from Colin though. I like this raise actually better than his raise earlier against Miles, because it feels like Patrick's looking to just call a small raise there. So I think if Colin went a little bigger with the sizing, it's possible that gets through. But yeah, I like the idea for sure. Ace 10 of clubs for Lucky P. Looks like he limps in. Joe's out of there. Elliot, Queen Jack offsuit. Obviously going to be in there. Daniel and Han both check, so we're 4 ways to the flop. Eight, 5, 8 on the flop. King on the turn, king on the river. Lucky P's ace high still good. Looks like it's just gonna check through. I think just a slight. Not sure if that's a value bet or a blocker bet. So it is 10 p.m. guys, so gonna be coming up on my time here pretty soon. Leaving you guys in good hands though. Patrick is great personality, great commentator. Kind of has that commentator's voice, so I'm sure you guys will enjoy him. So yeah, gonna be my last few hands here. Enjoy the commentary, thank you. Appreciate it. Ooh, might have some action here. 10-7-3. Top pair for Daniel, top 2 for Han. I think we'll see a little bit of action here. Call and, yep, bet and call on the flop. Ace of diamonds on the turn here. Small bet from Daniel. See if Han decides to raise here or not.
He's coming.
Han just makes the call. King of diamonds on the river. I'm assuming Daniel's going to slow down here. Unless he wants to turn his hand into a bluff. And Han looks like just a small bet here. Yep, Daniel's going to pay him off. And a nice pot for Han after flopping top 2. Bit unfortunate with the run out. Maybe could have gotten a little more if the run out, the cards were lower. But ace and the king keeping that pot a little smaller. Miles still in the lead. $257 in the stack. We'll see if anybody crosses the $300 threshold soon. That is usually our benchmark for allowing the green chips on the table. So the reds are $5, the blues are $1, and then greens are $25. So you're allowed to, cash in your stacks of reds for greens once you cross $300. One of Patrick's favorite things to do. I think this is probably a misdeal, so everyone's showing their hand real quick. Ooh, I think this is the first time we've seen 6-9 today. So if you guys don't know, we play the 6-9 game here at THP Studio. So if you win a hand with 6-9, it can be offsuit or suited. Everyone at the table has to pay you $2 after the hand. So yeah, Elliot, no one really folds it pre-flop unless there's some crazy action. What's Cho's net right now? I missed everything. I think he's just even. I'll confirm once the chip counts come in, but he's kind of like just been hanging around, survived a couple all-ins, and I think he's maybe down a few dollars, but it looked like he was about even last time I checked the chip counts. Colin opening Jack 8 of hearts. Daniel's in there with Ace 3 off. Han King Jack looks like he puts in a 3-bet to 15. I like this play. From the button, in position. You don't hate it if people call, but obviously happy to take it down here, and looks like that's what's gonna happen. Colin lays it down. Daniel counting out chips. I don't know if he's planning a raise here, or if he just doesn't realize it's his turn to act. I'm gonna assume it's the latter. Ah, never mind. He just didn't know it was his turn, so. Han probably happy just to take that one down. Good move there. Yeah, so Cho's at $90 and he bought in for $100. So he's only down $10, Frag, which is, I think, pretty fortunate with some of the stuff that's happened. He could easily be down a lot more. Alrighty, well,
I'm watching my punts.
that's gonna be my time, guys. Really enjoyed it, appreciate it. Gonna hand you off to Patrick now. Feel free to ask him about any of the hands he's played so far. But yeah, hope everyone enjoys the last 2 hours of the stream with Patrick. So signing off now.
That's kind of a cool headset going on here.
Yeah.
I like this. This is cool.
So that's the mic, and then you can adjust the audio levels.
Sweet,
here.
sweet, sweet.
So this is like the game audio. I have it like kind of low, just suits me.
Jack 10. I'm trying to think of how many hands ago I know, because I did just play like 3 or 4 of these hands. So
yeah, I mean, this is
I guess I
5
know.
minute live, so you'll see.
Yeah,
you'll
whatever.
figure it out, yeah.
Anyway, let's see. Well, Lucky P does stand for Patrick, so I am Patrick. Nice to meet you guys. That was an interesting session, to say the least, I have to say. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like I made a lot of wrong decisions and ended up only $30 down. So in California, we call that a dub. And we'll see how it goes next time, I guess. I wanted to play more. I feel like I was getting in a rhythm, but whatever. Anyway, so let's see. How many hands ago was this? Jack 10. Oh, this is... okay. Now I know where we're at. If I remember correctly, this is going to go down as the best bluff of all time. You can even see Colin's face. He's just like, this is going to be absolute cinema on the table. Never mind. They surrender, and Jack High wins. they make you pay hundreds of dollars for GTA Wizard and all that crap, but that's money right there. 23% of chip count. See, that doesn't show that I was in for $300. So let's see. Elliot was in for one buy-in, or he's in for one buy-in. Damn. Interesting. Miles open folds 8-7. Honestly, the way I was playing, I would have insta snapped. But in these kind of games, you kind of have to a certain extent. Not under the gun, obviously, but you know. Ethan with ace queen suited. Not too shabby, unfortunately. At this nit of a table, everybody is folding, which is great for Ethan. Wow, did I actually call that? That's wild. Jack 10, Daniel. When I was in the room a second ago, I was like, Daniel, you just have Jack 10. He was like, really? I know nobody's gonna believe me, but it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Hola.
All good?
All good.
Alright.
Very
Text me if you need anything.
Sounds good. We're just going over the fact that I called Daniel's hand exactly like 5 minutes ago. And then he was like, but that's what Ethan has. I was like, uh-huh. Oh, and then he gets the 10. I don't actually know what happens after this, low-key. So now we're going full streamer mode right here. This is good.
It is so fun. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
You need water?
That'd be great.
Yeah,
low-key.
yeah. Got you. Did you get water earlier or no?
Nah.
You want ice?
Yes, please. Man, I do not know. Oh, I guess Ethan folded. Yeah, I guess he should have. Now he has the open ender. Daniel does. And that is that. Looking at our V tip today. Wow, I'm not the highest. That's actually insanity. Ethan was 83% VPIP. Pretty wild. 83% is pretty wild. I didn't get to see who's the lowest, but I would imagine it's Colin or Andrew. We shall see. You know how they say, like in chess, you sit down and you burn like 3,000 calories or something when you're playing? Like the grandmasters do, because they sit there and they're calculating all this stuff. So, I don't know if that applies to poker. I hope it does, because I got a little tummy and I'm trying to get rid of that low-key. So, a couple ace sixes at 4 and 6% because of ace 10 domination. Is that how bad it is? Oh, because they have the same hand. Duh. But why is one 4 and one is 6? Like the suits? Because he has 2 clubs and he has a club, and then like the hearts and the spades aren't really covered. I don't know. Comment in the chat if you know that one, because that would be helpful to me. The poker pro that I am. Looks like it's about to. Oh nope, ace 10 bets. For Chalk Hingle. For Chalk Chaw Chingle. Like cha-ching? Cha-chingle. That's kind of interesting. Why did everybody look at the camera right there? You see that? It was like they're all looking at me. What are they looking at right? Oh, somebody's entering the room. That makes sense. Ace 6 of Elliot raises to $7 with absolutely nothing. But Chachingle, love that name, also has nothing, so I'm assuming he's gonna fold here. I think Chachingle is Andrew. Ah, I see. That makes a lot of sense. I guess there was some sort of run out, and The run out is Jack 9, the 10 plays, and Mr. Chichingle scoops down. I'm assuming $5 at the most. Looking at that chip count, Lucky P no longer exists. Miles currently in the lead with 22%. At least this isn't a blowout like in the past. You know, somebody has like 60% of the chips, like 800 aces or something like that. So it's a fair fight. I'm curious what everybody thought of some of the coolers so far. I think there've been a decent amount of coolers. This isn't boring by any means. Easy E's first hand of the session, raising to $3. We don't quite know his hand yet, but we can call it the Geico sponsored Mr. Hand of the event. But Elliot re-raises with Ace King. Colin has Ace Jack offsuit. I think you saw earlier I folded Ace Jack offsuit in a situation similar to this. It's a weird hand. I know you're supposed to call, but who knows. But Colin does make the call. And Easy E with $9 to call. I imagine he's going to come along for the ride. I don't think he's going to re-raise. But I'm no poker expert, so we shall see. And he did just sit down, so he's probably just in the hunt for some chips. As all of us degenerates out there understand that chips are good. The more chips you have, the more money you have. Ethan folds. Okay, interesting. Guess he didn't have that good a hand. Here we go to a flop with 3 pretty semi-decent hands. 5's ahead, surprisingly, but I don't think Chichingle knows that, or maybe he does. Oh, he hasn't called yet. Well, we'll find out right now if he does or he doesn't. Andrew jams with 5's like a baller. Ace King is definitely calling. That was such a good rip right there. It might have just been an effort rip, but regardless, that was a good read right there. Good soul read, Andrew. Or sorry, Chichingle. Very good, very good. I imagine Colin is getting out of dodge if Elliot calls. And to tell you the truth, even if Elliot folds, I think Ace Jack is getting out of dodge. So Andrew might just scoop down $29 of dead money right here if Ace King doesn't call, but I can't imagine Ace King not calling. Oh, I guess he called. Ace King versus 5's. One run out as they want to go. 5's are just going to win. Ace King is trash. It's just common knowledge that Ace King is trash. Unless it's this time. I can't really tell what the flop is. I think there's an ace on the flop. They're trying to decipher. I wish I knew what the board was right now. Ace, Queen, 6. Wow, that's pretty bleak for 5's right there. Pretty bleak. But we saw 10's earlier. 10 spikes on the turn, so a 5 is entirely possible here. Will a 5, a black 5 specifically, come? No. Ace, Queen, 6, King, 8. Pretty freaking safe for Ace King. With no flushes. One straight draw. I guess they're running it twice, or is this just a hypothetical? I guess he would have won twice. And after that, Elliot scoops in $100 and some odd dollars, putting him pretty handily in the lead with 30%. I imagine Andrew's going to rebuy. I think that was all of his money. He is rebuying. And we are back to a full 7-person game. Good on Colin's part for getting out of the way with Ace Jack. It's not it's not crazy, but it's still good. Didn't punt with it. A lot of people are just like, oh, you have an ace with a high kicker, so I call. Not saying that I didn't do that earlier, but like, you know, just throwing it out there. I keep thinking that's me. Elliot looked exactly like me. That's very strange. Like the glasses and the hair looks exactly the same. I mean, he's a little more ripped, so gotta give it to my boy. Did a little more push-ups in the gym, but it is what it is. Yeah, low-key slight punt, but he did get the money in good, and if that was some sort of soul read of some kind, which it wasn't, but if it was, then that was pretty damn good. So, as we say in the business, he just got unlucky. I'm gonna go on a limb here and say 6-5 takes us down. 6-5 suited, pretty underrated. Elliot's running pretty good. Place your bets in the chat. Who's taking this one down? King Jack, just never. Oh, never mind. I take it back. Yeah, his equity is probably pretty shit. You're not wrong. But I like to give Andrew the benefit of the doubt. Like he had the skills. Which he does, he's pretty good. Miles takes it down with the king, as he should against those very specific hands. Kind of interesting with King Jack there, because kicker's not the best, but you know you're good. And everybody's either folding or weird call. It's kind of... Maybe he did have the soul read. Maybe he did. To tell you the truth, I have no idea why the graphics are slow. It's just the board. Like, everything else is coming up on time, but the board is being a little weird. I'll try my best to decipher it for you guys, but if I can't, then unfortunate, I suppose. Ace-8 suited from Chachingle against King Jack offsuit. See, this is what I'm talking about. King Jack offsuit never wins these scenarios, except last time, but that didn't count. And I'm assuming, since I was looking in the opposite direction, that he won that hand. The ace wins, that makes sense. Easy got out of dodge with that terrible hand of King Jack off. The story that, or the pun that all the old people like to make at the casinos. I think my dad told me that when I was like 13. He's like, you know, my favorite hand is King Jack off. And I was like, ha 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 ha. That's hilarious. Even though I didn't get it, but it's like bad dad joke. Ace King for Elliot. Again, that's pretty nice, especially when you have the most money at the table. Offsuit, but we saw how that played out last time. Colin with 10-8 suited. And Daniel with Jack-7 suited. Seems like a couple of calling hands if I've ever seen it, but Daniel lets it go. Way more disciplined than I am, that's for sure, but you saw the result of that. Ethan folds with Queen 10. Easy is going to call just like I would, just for some action. And essentially, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's just Ace King versus 10-8, because Jack 3 of diamonds just never hits. Just never hits. But King 6 tags along, Mr. Andrew. And the Jack 3, man, oh, the couple of hearts, that's not terrible. But the Jack 3 does take the lead. I should really try not to predict anymore, because it's Polka Phil, who knows what's coming. Easy checks with top pair. Pretty fair on that board. And out of position, that seems more logical. What do you guys think in chat? For people that are watching, what's your least favorite hand? 'Cause I got some pretty good ones. Oh, and the flush gets there for calling my boy. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Easy E's drawing dead. Ace King has a handful of hard outs, but we know who's gonna win this hand. Yeah, these graphics are a little slow. I have to like decipher with you guys what's going on. But I'd imagine that Elliot's not going anywhere with that heart. And Easy's probably not going anywhere with that open-ended straight draw if they don't bet too much. Oh, Colin shoves, which seems realistic, I suppose. Easy wants to call. I know he wants to call. I think he's gonna fold though. Little does he know, he's drawing completely dead. Even though he makes the right decision, he folds. Elliot, I imagine, is going to stick it in there with his hand. He might not, though. Pretty disciplined if he doesn't. Because I'm pretty sure he's thinking in his head that he's got... Well, then, I don't know. It's kind of tricky. For $33 more... I guess it's into a pot of 33. He calls. I don't know. I mean, it's probably whatever. I guess the right answer is fold, but hindsight's 20/20, baby. Elliot sees bad news that Senor Colin has a flush and a not a very good first board or second board. That's mean. Oh man, that's mean. Didn't have to do him like that. Pre-flop raise. Wow, I wish they came back a little bit and I could have saw that, but I'm going to assume since the top was 28%, which is really high actually, damn. But it's a home game. Well, it's not really. It's like a half home game. We call this like a half home game at the Two Horsemen Poker Studios. So it's in the middle. Oh, six has got it. No question. I don't even need to see the other hands. Even with a blocker, even with Ethan's blocker, it's over. Still sitting at $1 though. Anything can happen with $1. And there it is, the King Jack suited, the best hand in poker. Don't get that mistaken with King Jack offsuit. And Elliot, for the third time in probably 10 hands, sees Ace King offsuit that surprisingly only has 14%. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. Why is that the case, that he only has 14%? Okay, so the aces are gone. I guess the spades from Chichingle make it higher. Oh, the sixes get out of the way. Oh, that changes a lot for Elliot. That's not really surprising when he 3-bets to 16, I suppose. And Chichingle's probably going to call. Ethan's going to fold. I'm sure for 10 more bucks he's just going to put it in there, which he does. And we go to the flop with the best hand in poker of King Jack suited. And what do you know? It works every time. What's the expression? It's like it's like something every time. Damn it, what is it? I need the chat to help me out here. That's wild. King Jack looking oh so sweet in this spot, betting $18. Elliot like Wow, this kind of sucks below does. Let's see what I'm gonna do here. I'm probably just gonna relinquish my ace queen, ace king, which he's gonna do in 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, look at that, perfectly timed. And he lets it go. King Jack takes the dub, as it should have, because it's suited. That's the best hand in poker. All right, I gotta quickly do this chip count. Sitting roughly at a middle ground of, let's see, maybe 170 seems pretty in the middle. Seems pretty fair. And I guess I did just take like 270 bucks off the table or whatever, so that kind of makes it a little more even, I suppose. I don't know how many Giants fans are out there, but 2-0. I guess Evaldi was pitching, but damn, that's pretty sad. It is hard to bet baseball. Holy shit. I've been trying to do that recently, and there is just no rhyme or reason to it. I mean, let's see who else won for any people out there. White Sox won for whatever reason. Oh, I'm actually missing a good hand here going over the games, but Angels won, nobody cares. Athletics won, nobody cares. Okay, nothing notable in the MLB currently. So, we have Easy E with Ace King suited. Even worse of a hand, but he flops the miracle flop of Ace and 2 diamonds, which is beautiful. I can't imagine he's going to get any calls for $6 here. Elliott does come along, though. And Colin comes along. Colin I can see. But Elliott, not so much. Not the greatest card for Elliott right there. As he'll probably feel like giving away a little bit more money. But Easy is feeling confident. Easy betting $21. That seems like a pretty fair bet in this spot. Even though I guess he has pretty much exactly what he wants, so maybe checking is best. There's not really a lot of cards that hurt him there. So I don't know, but he makes 21 bucks. Bets pot. And moves on with a pretty strong hand in that spot, so I can't really say shit, but there goes that. We are looking at the chip count very, very quickly before that goes away. Miles in the lead with $277. Let's see if anybody can run it up on hand number 48. Let's see if we can get to hand 80 or 90 and see if anyone reaches the 500 mark. I know the green chips don't come out until there's some fat stacks on the table, but for any people watching that have played with me before, I love me some green chips. So when they come out, you guys will know. You'll be the very first to know. Ethan picking up pocket 6s. Trash for Elliott. 9-8 offsuit for Chichingle. Trash, but they call anyway. Miles raises with King 10 suited to 11 after the Colin call. Colin might squeeze a couple. I mean, when you're in serious tournament settings, I guess a squeeze with Ace 4 suited is pretty solid. It's not Ace 5, but it's not bad. He does let the hand go, though, so it's heads up. Pretty much a flip. But Ethan stays ahead. Barely. But 57-43 is pretty sure. The Ace 4 hits the Ace, but I mean, you know, that's just life right there. Miles bets 13. It looks like Ethan folds. And he scoops in that $39 pot. But it's kind of a tough scenario if you're Ethan right there. It's like, what are you going to do? Call along on the off chance that he has that exact kind of hand, like King Jack king 10, 10 9. I mean, there's a lot of hands, but you don't really have a lot to continue with. You're basically just set mining at that point. But it's heads up. And as they say, for the WSOP stuff, it is hard to make a pair. Or I guess just poker in general. It is hard to make a pair when you're heads up. Even though he did raise pre-flop. So I'm sure that went into Ethan's mindset there. Now, is the dirty diaper just 3-2 offsuit, or does it count with suited? I've always been confused about that. Because I guess suited is just like significantly better. But, I don't know. Regardless, a semi-real hand in ace queen. 3 bets to 12, everyone folds. Pretty standard poker, not a lot of coolers going on right now. Which is, you know, it's a weird dilemma. Coolers are fun to watch, and they're fun to win, but oof, it is not fun to lose. For all the poker players out there, you guys know. I'm very salty when I lose. I may not show it, like I'll be like, oh, nice hand, but inside I'm like, bruh. Especially in coolers, like that 10 earlier was just like, 1 outer, come on, bruh. But as Tony G would say, that's poker, Phil. It's got to be the most famous clip of all time. Not that, but it's not. It's my favorite though. Is the scary card, 4 or 5 of hearts, 6 of hearts, 7 of hearts from Tony G. And we see another ace king offsuit, trash hand, not suited. 4 bets to 20, Miles calls for 11, and we are off to a flop ace king versus queen jack with king high top pair tuck kicker for Daniel. Miles making middle pair, not atrocious, doesn't really have any draws here, so it's kind of like meh. I'm kind of capped here. A little tricky. Daniel feeling pretty good. Miles bets, it's kind of weird. It's like it's ill-timed to an extent. Like if a spade comes out, it's a little tricky for Daniel, but I think he'll easily find this call here. No reason to raise, absolutely no reason to fold, so call seems pretty legit. And he does. Off to a turn, let's get spicy. Let's go with spade. That does not look like a spade, but it is pretty interesting. The ace of clubs. Miles now has backdoor straight. Not a lot other than that, though. Maybe a queen for something kind of gross. But Daniel with top 2. 2 flush draws out there. They both check it through. Very interesting. The flush gets there, the front door flush, but I don't think that's really on his mind. Especially with check. The only problem with ace king top 2 here, and I struggle with this a lot, is like, what are you gonna get to call that's worse? You know, like king queen, I guess. A flush beats you, straight beats you, sets beat you. It's kind of tricky, so he elects for the check. After Miles checks, I can understand it to a certain extent. Daniel scoops in $50, and that's pretty standard poker. Aggression frequency. It looks like everybody's aggression frequency is pretty similar, from 30 to 45%. I'd say an average of 30 some odd percent seems pretty legit. Oh, I just figured I have to work tomorrow. That's gonna suck. Working sucks. Why can't we all just go play Survivor or something. That sounds fun. Easy E picking up Jax. Miles in with 6'9", like a baller, but the worst flop of all time for Jax because Jax suck. Everybody knows it. Pretty dog shit for Jax. King, queen. But he bets nonetheless with 14. Kind of a feeler bet, I imagine. Miles might raise here. That would be pretty solid. I can respect that going for the bet. With 6'9", raised to 66. That's a lot. It's not really like I can back out on a bluff kind of thing, you know? Like 45 would be. It's like, well, I lost 45, but 66 is pretty committal. Especially if Easy did have like a king and he just flat calls or something like that. But I'm pretty sure Easy is gonna find the fold here. He's kind of forced. I mean, you have flush draw, Jack 10 is out there. Ace Jack you're not really worried about, but Jack 10 is pretty prevalent. Random king that Miles could have, though I guess you would. There's no reason to. Well, I don't know. Flush and straight draw. I guess you would raise with a random king. Kind of tricky. What do you guys think? But he folds, as I probably would have done. So very good soul read right there from Miles. Takes in $36. Pretty baller. I don't know how I feel about it, to tell you the truth. I'm not saying it's bad or good. I don't know if that's like optimal or not. Who freaking knows? This game's hard. Who freaking knows? That's the real question. Anyway, chip count pretty similar. I'm assuming Easy bought in for $200 since he was talking to all you wonderful people for 2 hours, and now he's vibing. King 7 suited. Such a weird hand. It's like, it's just a fold. Tournaments, it's a fold. Good cash games, easy fold. I mean, these are all like what's the right word? Like clinical almost, you know? It's like a monotonous fold, you just get rid of it. But in these kind of games, you can push people around, and Colin seeming to pick up on that drift there with a little raise to $3. King 9 offsuit for Easy. People are throwing out money now, which is good. That's what you want. Pick up a little action. Raising to $9. Ace 2. I could see a little 4-bet here with Ace 2 suited. Pretty fair, but he folds. Honestly, I can't really blame him. It's either fold. I mean, I can support a call too, to tell you the truth. I don't know. All three options seem pretty legit there. Both players absolutely miss. So we'll see what happens. It seemed like it was first one to bet gets that pot. Colin bets. Ethan gets out of dodge. And he takes down a little $10 pot. Not bad. Not a lot of crazy hands though. How many times have we seen kings tonight? Like once or twice? No aces to be spoken of unless somebody didn't show or something like that. Very, very interessante. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say that. Let's see, where are we at in the action right now? We are at Easy raising to $5. Let's see. No, never mind. We pretty much have queen 8 versus threes. I'm gonna go with queen 8 because threes are never good. You never hit a 3 on the flop. And true to form, there you go. There's your queen. Threes are bad. He bets. Let's see. What's Daniel gonna bet? He's not gonna check here. There you go. He wanted to. But he bets $6. The quickest fold south of the Mississippi. And Easy E gets out of dodge, losing just $6. For God's sake, Alex, we need some aces or some kings out there. Let's get this party started. I swear, threes versus king 8 is not gonna do it. So I'm calling it right here. 2 pocket pairs out of the 7 guys. Somebody's gonna have it. Let's go queens and 5s. Chat your favorite pocket pair. No pocket pairs, but Chachingle. Ace King suited. Let's see what he does. Raises to $8. Elliot, I think, is going to make the call. Colin folds with 5-4 suited. I could never. I would just insta snap. I don't know why people. I mean, it's not, it's not an amazing hand, but I don't know why people fold that hand. I just cannot get rid of it. I know this flop's going to be good for ace 4 or for 5-4 suited too. Though there looks to be a picture, so maybe not. And there looks to be a 9 and something else. So I guess 5-4 suited just got absolutely demolished. But that's why I'm not playing, so that's okay. Ooh, kind of tricky, kind of tricky. King comes, top pair for both. Unfortunately, Chachingle has top pair, top kicker. Raising to 15 from Elliot's $5 bet. We have a call, $50 pot, and sort of, it's weird because, like, that's a brick, yeah, but in Elliot's position with King 3, it's like, that's a good brick, and for Chachingle, it's a great brick. So, it's like, it's not really good for Elliot, especially if he called, and yeah, he's gonna lead here with King High, or not King High, top pair of kings. I'd imagine that Andrew's just gonna smooth call this. I can't imagine raising is gonna get him paid off. I don't know. Even, I mean, maybe like 2.5x would maybe get you called just because it looks like a little flushy. No real straight. I mean, 7-9 is just out of play here, in my humble opinion. But he raises to 40. Yeah, that's about 2.5 times. That seems pretty legit. I like that math. Kind of a tough decision for Elliot, not gonna lie. I mean, yeah, he has top pair. He's gonna ask how much he has behind. He might just rip it with top pair, looking like flush draw. Andrew's been a little loose today. But, I guess that's why you raise right there. I can't see a fold. If he does, that would be fine, but I just can't see it. Smooth call just doesn't seem to be the way to go here. It's kind of interesting. If you're thinking about your opponent's range of hands here from Elliot, Andrew did 3-bet. There's $100 in the pot. You only have to call 27 more with top pair. Doesn't have a lot of room to improve, though. That's kind of the interesting thing. It's like, yeah, I have top pair, but then you're just gambling on the fact that Andrew has a hand like, I don't know. I can't even find one. And he makes the right fold with top pair. Mr. Chachingle takes down a $100 pot, $40 in profit, and a little better. A couple of top pair on top pair action right there. A lot of ace kings, but no aces. I'm putting it into the ether right here that we're gonna see one. Miles are only 20% chip count player at the table. Man, we were in kind of a dead card moment right there. That was a good hand last time, but what was that? 6-2, 5-3. I mean, I guess that's standard poker, but damn, pretty dead right there. Pretty. Anybody watch what's that show called? Curb Your Enthusiasm. Larry David. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm gonna sound stupid if nobody knows what that is, but if you do, that's a dub. And you're cultured, so I appreciate that. Thank you so much for knowing that reference from Curb Your Enthusiasm. Great show. 9 seasons. Guy that made Seinfeld. Made his own little spin-off show about some other stuff. Pretty cool. Well, we have Ace Jack offsuit. A little better than King Jack offsuit, but still pretty mid. Binking the ace on the turn is always helpful, especially when Mr. Elliott has an open-ender. Miles betting 9, pretty standard. Elliott's going to call with the open-ender. We get not a total brick, but I think the way the hand was played out, it's Brick City. Elliott checks. Miles checks back. I guess you're not going to get anything to call since everything pretty much bricked besides your opponent having top pair on the flop. So that kind of checks out, not gonna lie. You know, hot take. I had, what's it called? I had, Phil's coffee this morning. Or not, yeah, Phil's. What am I talking about? Because, you know, I go from Starbucks and, like, Pete's and all those places, whatever. I think Phil's is overrated. People seem to love it because, like, the environment of it or whatever, you know, and you just sit and you vibe on your computer, do some homework or something like that, but I don't know. It's pretty, like, the coffee's okay. I guess I didn't try any, like, bakery things or anything like that, but if you guys like Phil's, let me know, because I'm gonna get upset, because Phil's trash, but that's here nor there. Anyway, on to hand 56. Let's see, easy E with what I'm gonna call the semi-dirty diaper, since it's suited. That seems pretty logical. Man, talk about a discarded WSOP edit of a hand right here. Queen 8, A7, couple of 5-4s. Like, unless the flop was, like, 5-4 queen with 2 hearts, this is just gonna be an absolute miss. But I take it back. We got some money in the pot.
Good job, good job.
Are you out?
Of course.
Oh, no, I meant, like, are you leaving? I guess not.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
I'm water boy.
Here we go to a flop anyway, with 3 of the most mediocre hands in all of poker right now. 9-2 doesn't even qualify as mediocre. I would say that's like, not quite piss poor, but it's borderline. It's like okay. But anyway, I really wish I could see that flop. It looks like there's a queen on there, and it looks like there's a 9, so I'm not really entirely sure what that action is, to tell you the truth, but let's go with that. A little laggy on this thing. I'm gonna say that's a 6. Okay, so flop was Jack 6, Queen with 2 diamonds. Yeah, that does not make sense. Queen of diamonds and the Queen on the board. Let's just roll with the fact that the Queen of diamonds is not in Chachingle's hand, because that does look like a red queen on the board. But Elliot's betting for some reason. I guess he's going with that line right there, that bluffing line. Chichingle has that top pair. Not really much else than that, but you know you're probably pretty good in this spot. Elliot bets 15 leading out. Pretty strong. I think that's pretty legit. I mean, overall, I mean, what else are you going to do? You already committed to the bluff on the, what's it called? On the flop. Seems pretty good. Let us see. Still cannot tell you what that turn card is. A little bit of lag, but I'm going to assume that it didn't matter because cha-ching, I have no idea what happened. That would be nice to know without the lag what just happened right there. But I'm going to assume that cha-chingle raised. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Who just won that pot? That is really bizarre. I wish I could help out, not gonna lie. Because I would like to know myself. Moving on to hand 57. The hand that keeps popping up every single freaking time. Kind of getting sick of it because it's trash. Ace King offsuit. Very mid, but as you should, in the undergun position, you're going to raise to $3. King Jack, the worst hand offsuit. As I mentioned earlier, 3 bets to $8. Pretty standard stuff. But Daniel picks up pocket nines, kind of mid. Kind of mid. Way good enough to call. Might even put in a 4 bet, but he just elects to call. That's kind of tricky spot there. I'm sure Ethan's going to fold. Mr. Hahn. Oh, but we do see Easy E making a 4 bet to 25. Kind of a small 4 bet. That seems, what is it, 2 2/3 pot, so that's pretty legit. I cannot imagine Miles is going to call here. No, it looks like he did. It looks like he called. Now Daniel kind of in the blender with his nines. You can't really call. It's either like 5 bet or fold. It looks like he's about to fold. It's going to be sad because he does have 51% of the equity going into the hand, but as we know, that's just never going to hold up. But he does let it go. Nines are definitely going to hold. Really unfortunate. But now, Ace King dominates. And it's not King Jack suited, so we know it's not coming. Jack. The blandest flop of all time. I bet you nines wish that they were in that hand still. With 10 4 deuce offsuit. Or rainbow. It looks like Ethan makes a bet of 15, I think. Miles comes along. Both playing very speculatively. I think they know each other's games, each other's ranges. That kind of checks out. Looks like the turn is either a 2 or a 3 or an ace or something of that variety. It's definitely not a face card. But it definitely didn't change anything, that's for sure. It was another 2. Look at that, I'm not blind. Who knew? It goes check, as it probably should on the flop, but both players a little nervous of each other after the call, or at least the bet and the call, but the jack does manage to find its way in there, because why not? Ace King, you know what, I take it back, Ace King goes on the bottom. Ace King is the worst hand of all time. King Jack, second worst. The jack gets there. Miles is like, cha-ching. He's kind of just figuring out how much he can extract here. Especially since I imagine that Easy E's gonna check. I can't really see a bluff here. Though there is $89 in the pot. He does check. Miles, I would imagine, is gonna go for a big sizing. Trying to extract some sort of bluff value. I don't know if that's big enough. What is that, 30? 40's... It's like, it's just value city. You know, I feel like if you have Ace King, if he bets like pot, then that's like, oh, because it's a little tricky. But 40 just kind of... I don't know, feels like 10 or jack. Though if you had a 10, you probably wouldn't have checked on turn. So, low-key, I don't know. to tell you the truth. He's definitely gonna fold. I can't see a hero call here. A rip would be insane if he came over the top. I still think Miles calls, but it would be like a really tough call. He's not gonna do it. I think this is just gonna be like a side fold. But we'll see. Take it for a minute though, so at least he's like seriously considering it. I can see that. The jack from space just kind of, it's tough to see. The board is stupid dry unless you're facing like pocket sevens or pocket eights or something. But do they really bet $40 like a value river bet? Kind of tricky to decipher. So I give him a little credit for thinking this one out. He does let it go eventually. The right decision. And Miles increases his 20% chip stake up to 32. We're seeing a little separation now. Almost at $400 for Mr. Miles. Taking in a good pot there with the jack from... I can't really say the ace from space because it rhymes. So what would you say for jack? He'd be like the jack from... The jack with a knack. The jack with a backpack. There we go. We're going with that. The jack with a backpack. Which makes no sense. But we're going with it anyway, boys. Well, let's see here. We got Queen 10 offsuit raising to $3. Daniel with Ace 4 suited, a nice 3-bet. That seems pretty solid. I think that Mr. Chichingo will come along here. I don't see any reason he's going to fold. But he does. Playing disciplined poker today. Oh, there, Andrew. Very disciplined. Belly good. Belly good. So, interesting scenario. So, I have this girl at the gym, right? And I met her a couple of times ago that I was going, we worked out together for a second. We were like, oh, ha, ha, whatever. I get her number. And I texted her and she didn't text back. So I was like, okay, that's whatever. That's life. I'm not going to take it too hard. But then I saw her like 2 days ago and she was all normal, like, oh, hi, whatever. I was like, hey. And you don't want to bring up, like, you know, you didn't text me. It's all weird, right? But at the same time, I'm like, what am I going to do? Never find out. I didn't muster up the cojones to ask, but man, did I want to. Seems like a missed opportunity. But nobody's going to judge, so. Except, like, every guy on the planet, but that is what it is. Sometimes you swing and miss, you know? That's how it goes. But Ethan Hahn with Queen Jack suited here. 3-betting to $12. I'm assuming from a $3 raise. King Queen in the lead percentage-wise. Pretty dominantly. Calling for $11 from Mr. Andrew. King 2 suited folds, and we go to a flop with a heavily dominated Queen Jack. And it stays that way with the blandest flop of all time of 5-8-5. Looks like it checks through.
Patrick,
A
how's it going?
deucey on the turn.
How's it going?
Doing excellent. Not that many crazy hands. All the coolers were on me. This is not fair. It's like Unbelievable.
Oh, Schwag's here. Let's go. What's up, Schwag?
Oh, that was a minute ago.
That was a minute ago? You gotta be talking to the chat, bro.
I've been trying. I mean, if there's no one chatting, I can't chat. I'm just telling my stories and chopping it up.
Hey, what's everyone's favorite hand?
No, I already tried that one, bro. You can't do it.
What?
I told my story about a girl at a gym. That didn't even work, bro. What can I do? Oh, Schwag's back. Yeah, he is the GOAT commentator. Miles is the GOAT. I can't compete. I'm doing my best. Not a lot of interesting hands to comment on, though, low key. What do you think, Schwag? The true dirty diaper here. Looking like it's going to be heads up. He does make the call against Easy E's Jack 10. Yeah, I didn't see it either, not gonna lie. But I guess he did. Alright, what's the next pocket pair that's gonna come out, Schwag? I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, but it better come soon, because I'm waiting for some damn pocket pairs. Love those things. Jack 10, top 2 for Easy E. Absolutely dominating. He might check. It goes for value. I can respect that. Elliott folds on the bet. That's why I guess you check there. He sees the diamonds and he bets just by default, but it's like, meh, I don't know. And Ethan takes down $12 with top 2, which is an atrocity. VPIP getting a little wider now. Ethan at 64%. Miles the leader at 36, showing there is a little merit to not playing every single hand on the planet. Even though 36 is still god-awful high. But at this game, it's low. We go to a flop with no hands on the screen, so... And what was it? Ethan had... Gosh, I don't remember. It was just on the screen a second ago. If you remember in chat, let me know. That'd be great. But nonetheless... Oh, I guess they chopped. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Hand was over. My mistake. Hand was over. Alright, let's go for $5 that Colin's gonna get a good hand right here. And he's gonna take down this pot. Let's go Colin with ace queen suited. Takes down an all-in right here. That's what we're going for. I get GTA points if I'm right. Miles with king 8 offsuit. Looks like a dump truck of a hand right there. Just get rid of that. Daniel picking up one of my favorite hands in 6-5 suited. Hearts especially. Like diamonds and spades, they feel... Well, I guess I did just win a big pot with 6-5 spades. But the spades feel okay, but the hearts always come. They always come. And it's always like 7-4 king or something like that with 2 hearts. It's beautiful. Ethan makes the call. Easy with dog sheet. Chachingle probably gonna call for $1, I'd say. Seems pretty reasonable. Might even raise. He does. I like that. Good play. And we go to a flop of $6 for each player with Jack 9 offsuit and Ace 7 offsuit. Ace blinks on the flop. Ethan drawing almost dead at 3%. I can't imagine he's going to try to bluff with that kind of board. Shingle bets, and Ethan will relinquish his hand for that $8 bet. And Cho raking in almost a Subway sandwich. Is a $5 footlong $9 now? It's probably more, huh? A footlong at Subway, it's probably like 11. That's so sad. It used to be $5. $5 footlong. That's such a good song too. Now it's what, like $11 footlong? That doesn't work. That's trash. Maybe they'll switch it to like a 16-inch or a 1 1/3 foot long. A 4/3 foot long. That'd be a big sandwich. I don't need all that. Unless you're hungry. Dude, I cannot get over how much Elliot looks like me, dude, with the glasses on and the hair. I mean, he's a little more jacked, but damn, bro, he looks I'm looking at like a mirror image of me from the side. This is hella weird. I'll go stand next to him, chat later, and you guys are gonna be like, "Yep, that's it. That's my boy." I have no clue what the hands are right now, but we'll do a little mystery Budweiser sponsored mystery hand right here. $3, $3, $3. Fold, fold, fold. We go 3 ways to a flop of wish I knew, but that looks like something low, and something low. One of those looks like a 4, if I had to guess. Man, chat, I want something with salt, like a bag of chips or something like that. Oof, does that sound good? I could damn go for a bag of chips right now. Like a Lay's classic bag of chips or something like that. Sounds hella good. Ooh, I take it back. You know what sounds even better? Like, you know those like Boulder, Colorado chips? Like the sea salt Boulder, Colorado chips? Oh. I could eat like 7 bags of those things because they cheap out and give you like 40 chips per massive ass bag. Talk about some good sponsoring right there. We get a little hand of brew in here. A couple of suiteds. Miles with some 3-2 call for $7. Thank goodness gracious. Only calling with ace-6 suited, I don't really like that. I mean, it's maybe it will work out, but it's just squeeze, especially on the button. It just screams squeeze, especially with all these weak hands. And you may end up losing now to a hand like Queen 10 or 3 deuce. But he seems to have picking up a spade, pretty even odds. Ethan Hahn with an open ender, which is, you know, not great and all, but it's something, especially with 56% equity. Pretty good with 2 overs right here. A king does come, though. He gets that open ender. Too bad there's not enough for Easy E to continue. Like, if he had 2 pair here, that'd be elite. Unfortunately, Ethan's gonna bet, and he's not gonna get any value right now just because Easy has nothing. It's kind of sad for Ethan Hahn in this position, betting $15. You'd think that would be, especially with somebody having a jack or something like that, easy call. But he does not. So I think that Easy is gonna fold that one pretty easy, and he does. And Ethan taking in that $31. He wants that to be more after you hit that open ender. Not a lot of action going on. There's just not a lot of competitive hands. It's kind of sad. Want to see those coolers. See people get upset. I love it. Couple early folds with horrible hands, I would imagine, because they got that out faster than a gunslinger back in the West. You know, speaking of gunslingers, that'd be a horrible life. You just go around and you're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go around hunting people like a bounty hunter or something like that, and then get shot. That's it. Like you have a family and then you go out in a gunfight and then boom, you get shot. You might not even die, but just like infection and all that just gone, especially back in like the 1800s or some crap. Well, and I guess all of human history when they had a gun. But not good medical care. Ace 8 offsuit taking $4. Nobody wanted to compete with these horrendous hands that Alex is dealing out. Miles still way in the lead. I can't see this changing if we don't get any hands. This is kind of one of those late night just play to play unless you get any of those hands. $10-5 offsuit into D-Muck. Elliott picking up that 7 deuce. Gets rid of it sadly. 6-3. Wow, this is like horrendous. Holy shit, does nobody have a face card? Like if the low cards were the high cards, this would be a great night of poker, but alas, they're not. Ethan picking up Jack 6, calling 5. Daniel at least raising to $6, trying to get some action. Easy's gonna fold. And we go heads up with Jack 6 versus 6-5 off suit, and a horrendous board for both. Jack high and 6 high, no straights, no nothing. But Daniel bets 6. Ethan calls with the gut shot. And now Daniel picks up a gut shot for himself. Neither player's really having anything. But let's see what happens. He does bet again. $15. I cannot imagine that Ethan's going to call here. There's just zero equity whatsoever in his mind. And really, in reality, there isn't any. Ace comes on the river, doesn't matter. Ethan folds. And Daniel picks up $13. Ooh, talking crap over my hands. I don't care. It was a bad play. I don't have enough energy to defend myself. It was only $20 more. If you can hear the hand that they're talking about. I'd like, what did I have? Queen 10? I don't remember. And then he had like 7-2, and I had top pair, but it was just like the board was so wet that I was like, he's betting all 3 streets. There's no reason to bluff. But he did. And sometimes you're wrong. Ooh, we got a little spicy ace 10 versus 9-8 suited Bruin here. This might be interesting. Elliot raising to 5. Colin 3-betting to 17. I like the bet. Easy E jams with 9-8 suited. I can respect that. Elliot folds. I think that Colin's going to call here. But we'll see what he does. Oh, he does call for the 50 extra dollars. And we have 9-8 suited versus ace 10 suited. Colin going to be really surprised that he's this far ahead. Definitely great spot. But ultimately, he is only a 65% favorite right here. So Easy's got a little more than a third of the time pulling this out. I think it's one time. Showing a 9 or an 8. I can't really tell. It's an 8. Queen, queen, 10. There goes that. Well, he has a little gut shot, but there goes that realistically for Easy. An ace comes only looking for a jack. Ace 10 looking really sweet here. And a king comes. Not the greatest board, really, for ace 10, but he's facing against 9-8 suited. Easy gets stacked. Tough. He didn't really have much to go for. Yeah, I know, no fishhook right there. I was hoping. But not really much there. Colin gets it in pretty good, and he gets out some money. Nice little collection of $73 there. Miles taking out the green chips. How dare he? Very upsetting. Yeah, Ethan, there's ace 10s suited. And a jack would have been cool there. But it did not come, unfortunately. Let's see here. We got Colin. Wow, that is hard to say. Colin. With ace 6 offsuit. Miles raising to $3 with king 6 suited. Much more impressive. But with the big stack, you can make those raises, no doubt. Elliot jack 5 offsuit. And the brickiest board of all time, even though there's not that much money in the pot. A6 pretty much got this on lock, dominating Miles. No flush draw out there. We get $1 of calls all the way around. Ace high good. It'll go check. No real reason to bluff. Maybe $1 like I did earlier, but I don't see it. No real reason. Is DP wearing a suit? Well, we'll find out right now. DP, I don't know what that is. I think it's a nice dress shirt. I'm gonna go with that. I don't think it's a suit. I think I would have noticed when I walked in if he was wearing a suit. I'd have been like, damn, you're wearing a suit. Damn, Daniel. Nice to meet you too, bro. Oh, the old editor. Very, very interessante. I wish I knew more about you then. I'm just filling in as a little commentator here. I wish there was more to comment on. Kind of dead right now. Not a lot of hands, but doing my best to keep you guys up to speed with the game a little bit. Sing the runouts, huh? Alright, if I get 2 chats, then I'll say, if I get, let's see, what should I get? If you chat the number 99 3 times in the chat, I'll sing the runouts every single time. I need to see 99 though. And I don't know where Maddie is or Jason, to tell you the truth. Oh, we got a 99 though. Nah. That's only 2 99s. I need one more 99. That doesn't count. Somebody different has to say 99 or else that don't work. So I'm gonna save the flop. I'm not gonna sing it. I need one more 99. We're gonna get a 99er from somebody else. That's a vibe. But in the meantime, let me look at this hand for the first time. We have 5-3 suited taking this one so far. Pretty amazing considering that it was probably the worst hand going in. But Daniel makes the bet of 10. We got call. An absolute brick of a 7 of diamonds there. This is a weird ass hand. Thank God I don't have to sing right now because I could not do it with this lack of action on this hand. Cannot. But a 5 might take it. Especially with that 7 coming, 5 is a lot more confident. Kind of an interesting spot here for ace queen though. It's like, what's the real like incentive to stay? It's a pretty decent sized pot, but it's like, I don't know, it's very interesting. But we do get an $11 bet and a call. An absolute brick coming on the turn there, or the river, I mean. Easy E winning with a 5. I don't know how you can feel confident with 5-3 here. I mean, you may make a little bet, a little feeler bet, but if somebody comes out and like re-raises you or something like that, I don't know how you can have any confidence. Oh, we got a third 99. Uh-oh. It might be time for me to sing the run out. Alright, here we go. You ready? 7, 4, 5, 7, 2. 7, 4, 5, 7, 2. I have to sing if somebody said 99 3 times. 7, 4, 5, 7, 2. And then now metal. I can be like 7, 4, 5, 7, 2. I tried. But let's see. The Daniel bet's $20. Easy and kind of a tricky little spot here. Even with the check mark, he's like, meh, I don't know. Do I have this one under control with a 5? Seven, 4, 5, 7, 2. It's a lot like smoother than like king 7, 5, 9, or like ace 4, 5, 3, 2. Doesn't really work, you know. My professional singing opinion. Thank you guys for the 399s. He's in the tank a little bit though with this 5-3. I can see the dilemma. I mean, he's going to be good a lot of times here. And Daniel led all 3 times. Doesn't really seem like a 7. Especially you wouldn't lead out on the turn. I guess maybe with the flush draw coming, but I don't know. Rap? I don't know if I got the rap one, dude. You're going to have to change that request. I only listen to epic rap battles of history. That's my rap extent right there. No little this and little that. Though my favorite, what's my favorite rapper? Probably like, I love 21 Savage. I think that dude's a goat. Easy E raising to $80. Wow, that is a baller raise right there. I love that. Daniel, I mean, you really only have 2 options. Obviously, you're not calling. But you could raise over the top for the remainder of Easy's money, which is really tough considering he just raised you like that. I mean, that's a find and a half if he does that. I imagine he's just going to let this one go. But if he found this all in, that'd be insanity. I would jump. He's tanking. I mean, he has nothing. This is just for pure show. I just imagine he's gonna let this one go. Yeah, this raise is pretty sick. Not gonna lie. He's putting on a show. He might do this rip right now. I mean, he might jam. If Daniel jams, that'd be insanity. Low-key goated play if he does. But I do love the raise from Easy here. Gets a lot of ace highs to call or something like that. I don't know. Maybe just flat calling is better. It's really tricky because there is a lot of value you can extract from this 5. I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird. Let's see what Daniel does. Because for now, it's a great play. Did he jam? Did Daniel jam? No way. No way. I cannot imagine that he just jammed right there. That'd be insanity. Come on, show it all on the screen. I can't really tell if he jammed. It looks like he jammed. That's insane. Actually? Damn, coming over the top like that, I just cannot make that call if I'm Easy. I mean, that's so strong. What a play. Holy frick. Oh, if that gets a fold, that's play of the stream for sure. That's goated. I love that. He does go all in for $206. $90 to call into a pot. I mean, the pot odds are there, but he's just so strong. I don't know how you're supposed to call, especially with just 5 and a horrible kicker. The flush draw missed, but I mean, that'd be a crazy read. I can't see it. Oh, that's insane. Oh, if he makes this call, that's sick. That's absolutely sick if he makes this call. Daniel head forward, just picking a spot on the table. He's just like, don't look around. I'm weak. Please help me. Got pretty much one of the worst hands you could possibly have here. Complete and utter bluff. But a $400 pot, our biggest pot of the night by far, no question. Type a 1 in the chat if you think he's gonna make this call. A 2 if he's gonna fold and sigh and rant, which I would do. Even though that raise, it puts you in this position. I don't know. Remember, 1 for a call, 2 for a fold. I don't know what you do here. This is pretty damn hard. Daniel's still looking forward though. I mean, yeah, I gotta give him this. This is a sick ass bluff. I could not do this. I don't have that. I can do a little more. Like if I had like a 4, maybe I could do this. But just the complete error is so tough. And he's tanking for a long time, which means that he could be good. Oh, what's up, dude? You just walked into the craziest hand of all time. Holy shit. I cannot. Yeah, I know. That 3-bet jam is insanity. I hope he gets this through. That's amazing. No offense. I mean, I want my boy Ethan to win, but damn, that's pretty goated right there. I asked this earlier. Well, I don't know. I couldn't find the raise potential either. I mean, you're getting called by a 7 or at high over or like a low over pair. Yeah, I know. It was just a call. It was kind of greedy. But if he had like ace high, he might consider calling for the 80. I don't know. I'm trying to justify it. But he's still tanking here. I don't blame him, man. I mean, this is a tough ass spot. What do you think he should do, Schwag? You think call or fold? 1 for call, 2 for fold. Well, I mean, obviously, yeah. I guess you know the hand. Yeah, I'd fold. I couldn't do it. Did he call? Oh, that's an insane call. What a call. Holy frick. That's insane. What a freaking call out. Oh, that's nasty. What a I could have never called. That's an amazing call. I feel horrible for Daniel. I mean, I guess if the $80 bet is to induce this bluff, then that's amazing, but that's a find and a half. Oh, wow. I know, shit. That's amazing. Good for Easy. Sheesh. That's an incredible call. Yeah, I would have snap folded. I can't even find the bluff. Like 9-8 suited is so rough there. Great play, Daniel. Yeah, I don't think you did anything wrong. That 3-bet is absolute effing insanity right there. Oh, that's insanity. Wow. That is unlucky. I don't know if it was like a tilt call, like he was pissed, or he was really thinking about it, like what he could have. I mean, Ethan thinks a lot, so I gotta give him the benefit of the doubt. No more singing. I already got it. I don't see enough 99s in chat. It resets. But yeah, that was really cool. That made up for the last 10 hands of absolutely nothing going on. That was great. Maybe never mind. We got Ace King suited for Mr. Han. Ace Jack off. Dog shit hand for Colin. But you're forced to call. Sometimes you just don't get the cards, you know? I mean, Ace Jack, you look at it and you're like, oh, I see an ace. And then you see a face card and you're like, ah. But it's just not very good. But he does 3-bet. He does find the 3-bet to $12. Ace King suited. You could flat here. I can't imagine Ethan's gonna flat though, considering he might just jam over the top, to tell you the truth. Yeah, he does put in the 4-bet to $30. Everybody gets out of the way. Colin's like, bruh, what do I do? And I don't blame him. I mean, he doesn't have much behind. You either fold or rip, right? A smooth call is kind of like meh. I mean, what, you see the flop and you say the $30 if you miss the ace or the jack? I guess. It's not even suited. Tough spot. I think it's just a fold, but especially the 4-bet's really strong. Very, very strong 4-bet. Very, very, very strong. Oh, and Colin does rip it. Yeah, I can see that. Ethan's gonna snap call. There you go. Colin sees the bad news. He's like, bruh, I was wrong. But you never know. A jack could come. If it was Ace King offsuit, I'd say Ace Jack is in the lead. Ace Jack is the nuts. Yeah, Ace Jack is the nuts. He'll get a jack here. He'll hit this. I have confidence. Commentator's opposite curse. This is a commentator's put into the universe right here. So I have a $191 pot. I feel bad for Ethan earlier from that hand with the flush over trips, so I gotta root for my boy, even though I like Colin. But the flop, I imagine, does not contain a jack based on the lack of reactions there. I'm thinking all low cards, and wow, really dry board, that first one. Oof, that was nasty. Oh, there was 3 clubs, though. There's potential. Second board. Oh, never mind. It is absolutely nothing. And Ethan takes himself a little pot. Colin just kind of running into the goods there. It's kind of unfortunate. What are you going to do, you know? we get into the magic number, hand number 69. 69's in the chat. I need to see 69 69s. It's the only way I want to stop talking about this number. Ace Queen offsuit for Easy E after that incredible call. Let's see if he can make some more money with his chip leading stack, I imagine now. He only rebought once, so not in the worst situation possible. Couple of dookie hands, all folding. 10-8 offsuit does get the call though from Miles, and we have a $6 pot. Can't imagine it's gonna get any better with the 6-3-5 board, unless we see two bluffs, which we won't. Goes check check as it should. And the reverse of two, absolute brick. Ace high takes it down. But the two big stacks fighting, you would expect a little more money in the pot. We got absolutely nothing, which I can understand. That was a pretty dry board. Let's see if Daniel can get back into this one. That was tough. He was playing pretty good all day and then just made a good play, and Ethan made a better play. I mean, what can you say? Kind of rough. Hand 69, extremely uneventful, kind of unfortunate. But here we go on to hand 70. Alright, we got a couple of suited hands here with King 9 and 9-7. Seems pretty legit. $12 in for both players, and the brickiest of brick boards of all time. Ace 4-4. Let's see some action. I imagine it's going to go check check. It did. Ethan makes a bet with his king high. Miles folds about as respectfully as you possibly can, and Ethan takes down a $13 profit. Easy E's aggression frequency coming in late, being at the top makes a lot of sense. Colin, Daniel, Miles all around the 30, 31, 32 range, which at this game is pretty good formula for winning. Can't imagine that Andrews isn't lower. I haven't seen Andrew in a lot of games. That's very interesting. Or a lot of hands, I mean. Got a couple of callers with 6-2 suited and queen 8 offsuit. Board does come though. A queen, a 9 here would be definitely some trouble for Mr. Colin. Not that a king is out of the question, but you know, it's a straight. It's fair. Colin thinking, you know, I got a gut shot, I got top pair. Easy, absolutely nothing. Mr. Andrew bets $3. I imagine that Colin is going to come along for 3. Oh, but he finds the raise. I can respect that. Just kind of a sniffer raise right there. Easy gets out of the way, I think. I didn't really see it, but he better have. Andrew calls, and we get our turn card, which doesn't look that interesting. I can't really see what it is. Maybe an 8? Maybe a 7? Yeah, 7. Yeah. Colin bets 15 with top pair, understandable. But that call has got to be a red flag for Andrew. But Colin finds the Miracle 8 on the river. That's actually kind of beautiful right there. And it's kind of tough for Andrew. I mean, he's not going to get a lot of value just with that 9 out there, but you're feeling pretty good with your top pair. But after Colin rips it, I don't like the rip personally. I mean, he's really targeting one type of hand, right? He's targeting. Well, I guess he does target the other 2 pairs. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, but that's kind of irrelevant. Andrew folds, discipline fold, like the fold, and Colin rakes in $31. Very, very good, very, very good. Easy E overtaking Miles is our chip leader. Those two have roughly 80, or not 80, 60% of the chips in play. I'll be right back.
What is good, chat? What is good? Rebel Poker is in the chat. Yeah, the stream ends at midnight tonight. Oh. I'm just here while Patrick's in the restroom. But we have a couple more hands. We've got like, I would say 5 or 6 more hands before we have to call it a night. Thank you guys all for joining. Really appreciate it. Guys, what did you think about that hand? The Daniel hand versus Easy. Where Easy called a pair of 5s. Oh, that was freaking crazy. No thoughts? Is Schwag still here? Andrew's been pretty dormant, not gonna lie. Alright guys, Patrick's heading back. I gotta go get back to the table.
Okay, back on here. And Ethan winning $21 with Ace King and a King. That kind of blows. Miles misses flush draw. Yes, the stream does end at midnight. On the dot. So we got, let's see what time we got here. 11:50. So, you know, a couple more hands. I'd say like 5 more hands. If everything goes smoothly. But unfortunately, we start with 3 of the most horrible hands I've ever seen. In 7-4 offsuit, 6-3, and 8-2. I think that's what they were. Correct me if I'm wrong. Easy folding for $1 with King 2. And it looks like we're... Oh, no. Andrew raises to $4. Elliot's going to call for 3. Not a lot of major raises or anything like that. And we go to a flop. Of Jack 5-4. So kind of unfortunate here for Andrew, flopping top pair. Kicker not quite there. Ethan hits bottom pair. Elliot top with a better kicker. So pretty good. The most brickiest brick of a two. Elliot betting 6. Ethan calling. I mean, not the worst thing in the world here, I suppose. But you, Andrew, kind of stepping into it with the $25 raise. I can't imagine Elliot's ever going to fold here. I don't think, at least, but we'll find out. Ethan's definitely going to fold when it gets to him, but kind of a tough decision here for Elliot. Andrew's got less than him. He's like, what am I looking at? Definitely not 6-3, ace-3. No, it's not even worth thinking about. If he has it, he has it. A jack that's higher than mine. Not really sure. I don't think that he found one, and that's why he made the call. A 3 comes on the end. And Elliot is ahead. I mean, it's kind of a scary card. Andrew does rip. With Jack 10, really tough here for Elliot. I mean, it's not, I don't know. It's pretty tricky. Because the 3 really doesn't do anything. I mean, you're not going to bet 25 with the gut shot if you're Andrew here. And your ace just became a lot weaker. I mean, within context. But your ace just became a lot weaker here with that 3. So, I don't know. I imagine he's going to stick in the call. But I guess if he folds, I don't know. He committed. Andrew committed. And we'll see what happens after the commit. He does make the call. Wow, good call. Good call, Elliot. Just out kicks him. Very good call, scooping in a nice $250 pot. Andrew getting stacked. I mean, that's kind of, I would have ripped too, I think. It's just a nice little spot. So that's not bad. I mean, that's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles on that one. Nice call there for Elliot. Pretty good. Making that moolah, putting himself in 3rd place into the 20s, which is rare company of chip count here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we reached the quarter-century mark in hands. I think this is hand 75. I can't really see right now, but that's what I'm assuming. King Jack off, Mr. Ethan, the worst hand of all time, as I've said 100 times on the stream so far. 7 deuce folds, and what do you know? The second worst hand of all time, Ace King offsuit. They keep showing up, I'm telling you, like 3-4 times in a row. Ace King offsuit, King Jack offsuit, and the Jack always shows up. It's just a matter of time. But Colin, popping in there with a couple of 9s. It's a raise to 6. I imagine he'll just call. Yeah, he does. But little does he know, he has 47% equity. Which, if I was gonna flip a coin with pocket nines to win some money, I would definitely take it. Now with Ethan was short stacked here, like 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks, I can see him put, oh no, he does put in the 3-bet anyway. Wow, really thought he was just gonna flat there. That's really strong, and I can see it, but just kind of ill-timed right there, not gonna lie. That kind of blows. Andrew shoves with ace king, just rebuys and shoves, calling kind of a tough spot. I imagine he's just gonna side call. If he folds, I mean, that's just, I don't know, it's a tough spot. Because he was an insta rip right there. I mean, ace king does insta rip though. I think if you have aces or kings, you might just like take a little tanking time. But Colin does rip. I can respect that. He's ahead. Ethan's like, shit, what to do now? And I imagine he's gonna get out of dodge with his $24 3-bet, and he does. I think he lets go. Action time, baby. $225 in the middle. And it's a pretty much clean coin flip. Except Ethan had a king, so that king out is gone. Looks like it's 5 or 6 outs at this point. Well, we'll see. I have no idea how many times they want to run this here. I imagine they're just going to run it once. Andrew's the king of wanting to run it once. And Colin looks like he's just like, just don't give me a fucking ace. And there it goes. It's kind of just poker right there. I don't know how many times they ran it, but I'm all for the chop, but it's just not coming. It's just one of those unfortunate things. They might have run it twice. It looks like they did. Thank goodness, because I feel really bad for him. I could see an ace coming here, and I'm really sorry if it does, Colin. 3, 4, 5. Oh boy. Oh, that just feels like a 2. I'm so sorry. Oh, goddamn. Oh, dude. Just casually sips his water. Like, screw this game, I'm out. And ace king manages, offsuit might I add, manages to take that one down. That really sucks. He was ahead.
We just flipped for ace king versus queens.
Oh, that blows. The deuce is just nasty. I feel bad, man. He made the right call, and then you just got played with right there. That's not cool. That sucks.
Do you have one bullet today?
But nonetheless, getting stacked, and Andrew taking in that pot. That's how poker goes. He's up to 15% of the chip stack. And it appears that this is the last hand of the night coming up.
It's like,
It is 11:58.
it's probably better in UC Davis.
So we'll check this hand out. Hopefully
It's like not bad, but it's not
it goes pretty smoothly.
Are you on it?
That sucks for calling on that one. That 2 was nasty. That's gross.
Yeah, it's fine.
I would have thrown the chair.
I'm not a big fan of the.
Wait, who's this here?
But that's Poco Phil.
Oh, I need to watch this.
It's so hot in there.
Another ace king, but at least it's suited this time, so it's not dog shit. Even though it won twice, but that doesn't count. Couple of poo-poo hands getting out of there as they should. And ace king suited takes it down for $5. That serves you right. You know, ace king doesn't deserve to win every single time. Trash hand. I didn't even know we had a went to showdown statistic, but there you go. Andrew with 51% of the time going to showdown. So congratulations, Andrew.
This is the last one, whatever. Yeah. Patrick, you know how to sign off? Just like say, you know how to sign off? Just be like, hey, thank you guys all for tuning in. Oh, it's just 2 people, but thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate all the support, whatever.
Alright, as I said last hand, that was last hand, and we were going to sign off, but I'm not going to do that because that hand was really poor. So we're going to have to do that one more time. So run it back for the real last hand. And look at that. That's what happens when you stay around for one more hand. You get pocket queens and pocket sevens. Thank God. Those might be the two pocket pairs. And ace king and a jam. It's only for 28. That blows. But it's offsuit, so it's not going to win. Miles putting in the 3-bet to 13. We got jam from Senor Daniel for 28. Easy saying screw that. 28 is not enough. Give me the smallest 5-bet in Two Horsemen poker history to $43. And they show Queens versus Ace King for $73. I mean, hey, that is like 6 Subway sandwiches right there. So we'll see how that one goes.
One more. Tell him wait for me.
Did you cash out?
No.
I'm trying.
Looks like they're about to run it twice, I think. Didn't really put up any fingers, but it appears that it's one time. And the blandest flop in the history of flops with 8-4 jack. Couple of hearts. I guess Daniel has backdoors, but there goes that. Swing and a miss on that jack. Ethan halts for the river. I'm not really sure why.
7.
Oh, and the 7 hits for Mr. Miles, but he wasn't going to call anyway. Come on. This is real hands here. Ace, kings, and queens. Oh, I guess he could have for $43. But nah, it's in the past. Don't think that way. I guess they ran it once, and there you go. Queens take it over ace, king. And that's that. Well, pretty interesting way to end off the night right there. With queens versus ace, king, the classic flip, and queens take them as they should, because as we all know, ace, king is the worst hand in poker. So signing off here from the Two Horsemen Poker Studios. I'm Patrick. Earlier was Easy Poker, and it was great talking to you guys tonight. All right, catch you later.